Welcome, welcome, welcome. Liberal 12th Man Show. It's Monday. It's Monday Night Club, and we are in the nightclub with the Irishman and JK today. How you guys doing today? Irishman, how are you?
Yeah, great. Much better today. We didn't have a year's worth of rain in 24 hours, so much better.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I don't know what that life is like. Really? Rain? What is
I was
that?
able to go outside today, basically.
And JK, how are you doing today?
I'm all good, bro. All good.
Good. That's what's up. That's definitely what's up. Big up to Lee. Hope you're well, Lee. Definitely hope that you're well. And MK Toe as well. Big up to you. Big up to you. Yeah, man. Just another night in paradise, right? Top of the league to you all out there. Top of the league. It's a good feeling to say. You know, like I figure it's like almost like, tip of the cap, top of the league. That's how I reference it as, So every and any time you get the opportunity to say it, you know what I mean? Try to make it a habit of when we're at the top of the league, we end up recognizing that we're at the top of the league and appreciating it because it's not something that is a given for any club. So you got to fight for it. You got to want it, and you got to also respect it and hold on to it. So let's do all those things. Let's do all those things.
When you think about how many clubs are in England, we're number one right now, So we just leave it as that. Yep.
Yeah, basically. Simple said. Big up to Bernie, by the way, out there, one of our red jewels for sure. And big up to Hylor. Big up to you, Hylor. Miss Morgan, right? Is that how you say it, right?
Yeah, until tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
So that was saying Guten Tag, right? The Guten Tag is like thank you, right? Isn't it?
No, Guten Tag is good day.
Good day.
Good day. Thank you is Dankeschön.
Dankeschön. Yeah, Dankeschön.
Yeah, danke.
Oh, that's like a great part of Ferris Bueller's Day Off too.
I always say Danke fun.
That's fun. Okay.
Danke fun.
We're getting a little German tutoring here, a little German class here. So Hylor, big up Hylor. Yeah, Guten Tag and Dankeschön. Dankeschön. That was a Dankeschön, darling. Dankeschön. There you go. There's my
little remix on that.
Exactly.
There you go, Bernie.
You got me singing. There you got me singing. How about that? Oh man. But I mean, hey, when you're top of the league and when you see Manchester United floundering and just going into it is absolute bedlam when it comes to the content creators and the forums of the Red Devils. It is Goldbridge once is getting a lot of flack, by the way. I mean, getting called out by other content creators. Not only you expect it from other other people in the sphere, of their Red Devil world, but content creators are coming out. I saw Saeed come out and really call him basically like a Muppet or something like that, because he's been asking for time and asking for for this and that, and it's just so wild how they're ready to eat. They're just eating on each other. It's like Return of the Living Dead with them. So it's kind of crazy. Citizens, have you recognized that those citizens out there, Manchester City supporters, have just all of a sudden kind of it's gotten real. I mean, there's only 3 or 4 of them in total, but but I mean, other than that, I mean, those 3 or 4, let's be adventurous and call it 5 City fans out there. They've gotten really, really quiet all of a sudden. You don't
That's
see
what happens when you get 2 draws,
Yeah, I know, right?
Yep.
You don't see them all walking with the strut, No more of that right now. It's good. It's good to be a Red, isn't it? Doesn't it feel good to be Red? How are you guys feeling today? JK, how are you feeling?
I'll tell you the truth, bro. I'm not being top of the league and then United losing yesterday is for me a perfect weekend. So
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna blow our own trumpet for too much because I wish it was May and it was the same situation.
Oh, yeah, that'd be even better.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be so much better. If it was like, if we were already like, if it was like the year that we won the title and we already knew, like we were like closing in on just getting that, like, you know, that there's no coming back game, you know, like as in the win is over and everything else is done. Oh, that would be great. That'd be great. Yeah, I see Marion's sharing a story. She said she was called a nice Liverpool fan by her dentist who supports Man U. He told her that he walked out of the match against the Spurs.
Well, watching
man,
Man United
yeah.
must be like watching Man United must be like pulling teeth. So he's probably well qualified for the job.
Yeah.
Look, the way I like to watch football, or the way I like to go about it, which hasn't always been possible, is I like it when we go under the radar. I don't like it when we're Billy Big Bollocks top of the tree shouting about it. I like it when City are doing badly by their accounts. Arsenal fans just don't seem to be able to stop their heads exploding every second day whenever they get a free kick against them or they don't get a penalty or whatever it might be. Man United are just always that huge noise. So there's so much noise going on around it, and we're just quietly doing our thing. And I love that. I really, really love that. That people are just so caught up at what's happening with Man City. Arsenal fans making all their noise and the Ten Hag nonsense, and then they actually, hopefully, come the end of October, they have a look at the league table and they'll notice that Liverpool are 7 points clear, and then they might start talking about it. That's how I'm feeling at the moment. I like the way that this is going. I'm with Jake. I'm not going to count my chickens because, like we spoke about, not needing any injuries to keep going. But I really do like it when all the noise is around other clubs and we're just doing our thing. Because normally, when the noise is around Liverpool, it's usually not for a good reason. You know, like people don't like to talk about us too much when we're doing well, so they put the focus on other things. So this is the way I like it, where let them take the headlines, let their fan channels melt down, and we can just quietly just rack up wins, and the next thing you know, we've got somewhere that, you know, like we did when we won the league, we just did it quietly. We just snuck up on the outside, you know, and let them be the story. You know, that's the way I like it. You know, we can be the big story, like Jake is in May at the end of the season. Let's be the big story then. But let's just keep our heads down and try and not be part of the big drama party that will be always going on for someone. I just like that. I like these drama clubs messing up their own seasons while we just get on with it. I really like when that happens, and that's what seems to be going on at the moment. You know, we're not a drama club. I hate when we're the drama club more than anything else. I fucking hate it. You know, I just like the way we're on at the moment. Nice quiet settings, just doing things our way.
Yeah, because like there's been, I've seen some of the things, and big up to Ian, big up to KJ, Marion, one of our red jewels as well. Big up.
Hey, Mary.
Big up to KJ in the house as well, joining us, and everyone else that it just might have not chimed in, but it's just chilling in there. Chilling. Big up Cedric, by the way. Big up Cedric. It's one of those cases where, like, I saw this comment, and I'm going to bring this up too. I'm going to take down this comment here. And like, this was from Neville. Gary Neville does not consider Liverpool title contenders after the Wolves performance. One, he didn't have us ranked as well. I have that clip, or I have that screenshot. You know how I do. I always keep my receipts. I'm like the IRS here, you know, the Internal Reds Service. How about that? Maybe I could do like that. But this was a receipt by Gary Neville. He says he doesn't consider us in the top as a contender after the Wolves performance. He didn't have us in the title race as well. In his top four, he had Manchester United as third in his top four, actually. But he said that this is the quote he said, is that they're well below Arsenal and Man City. It's one of those cases where it's just like Gary Neville's kind of eating his words right now. I mean, you recognize this is that the points in their last 15 Premier League games. Obviously, that's including the last bit of the end of last season. Everton has 21 points. Manchester United 19 in the last 15. So it's like the run from when they were going into that like final throes of the season, where if he had most certainly, if he had not won that FA Cup, he would have probably not been a Manchester United coach any longer. But it definitely provided him some coverage, him winning the Carabao Cup the year before that, and obviously winning the FA Cup last year. But I mean, they're performing on levels below, man. And that's Everton this year, which has had a horrific run in the beginning of the year. They're still underneath that. That is absolutely different settings. Definitely different settings. So it's one of those cases where it's just very interesting to see. Certainly interesting to see. And it's a shame because,
well, it's not a shame, really. It's
well, no, I mean, like I've seen this is apparently what they've got going on at Manchester United. They're trying to get this is coverage. This is coverage. But anyway, go ahead. What are you gonna say? Are you gonna say, Irishman?
No, you're good. You're good. Don't worry. I just typed something.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm stuck watching him go all crazy. But it was funny too. They have the new Ten Hag. Have you heard the new Ten Hag at the wheel clip too? That's pretty funny. Now it's become, rather than Ali at the wheel, it's become Ten Hag at the wheel. Look, just enjoy it. It's just it's good banter. I wouldn't take it to the extent where where we would be like trying to make it like vindictive or something like that. But there are some of those Manchester United fans out there that
they're tearing each other apart.
I guess those of us that have lived through
they're tearing each other apart.
2000s with Manchester United. Yeah, just allow for them. It's almost like
I'm listening.
We almost
to
have
them
to.
every
We
day.
don't have to do any of the work. They're doing it themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm listening to them every day, and you've got like, I know that's where the whole what's his name thing is coming from. Goldbridge. There is there's a large part of them out there now that they've understood that they've gotten nowhere with sacking managers. They've gotten nowhere with what they've been doing. So they've convinced themselves that you need to stick with this guy, because if they sack again, then they'll be back to where they started. So they're going in too much.
Zero.
Well, they're going in too much on defending Ten Hag, and then you've got the guys that are there going 18 months ago that they wanted this guy gone, and every single week, and like now he gets a new contract, or he gets an extension, he gets his like they confirmed that he was keeping his job, kind of thing, whatever you would call that, a vote of confidence, like. And so there's civil war amongst their fans, and you love to see it, as Goldbridge would say, you love to see it, so yeah, we don't have to do anything. You just stand back and watch, because they are like you're saying, that guy Saeed, I think he's a Man United guy, right? And he's coming out against the big Man United guy, Goldbridge. So it's sweet to watch. Like we, as you said, like growing up in Ireland in the 90s and the 2000s was not nice, because there's literally only two clubs here. Arsenal, there's really only two clubs in Ireland, Liverpool and Man U. And then there's a few other randomers, but literally it's Liverpool and Man U. So for the 90s and early, it was absolute hell. They made our lives hell. And like I said last night, and a Man United fan said this today, exactly what I said last night. He said they're paying for the price. They're paying the price for assuming that they would always be the biggest club in the world. It's almost word for word. Maybe he was watching. Almost word for word what I said last night. He said, Man United, who he's a fan of, they're paying the price now for just assuming they were always going to be the biggest club.
Yep.
And they did. They just did. People said that to me. Like one of
Yep.
my cousins said that to me. I remember saying that to me. He said, Liverpool are finished now. United are top, and you're never going to beat us because this, and this. They literally, a lot of people, they did think that's it. We're top now. No one's ever going to bring us down. So I think, yeah, it's just great. It's great to live through.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those cases where you're just enjoying the ride as it would say. Here is a little taste of copium here. Like, that's got to be painful. That's got to be painful for them. It's got to be eating at their soul, you know?
Yeah.
No. You know what I mean? Like that. Go ahead.
Like, you know what though, bro? I always say, you know, normally it's always the manager, the main guy at our club, is the guy who's doing the training, who's picking the team, picking the players. And what it is, United have had like Mourinho, Van Gaal. They've had a few managers since Fergie left, and none of them have really been successful. Not won a league, not won a Champions League. They won the odd cup, you know. Hence why, for me, having Klopp for that long was like a real blessing, you know. He kept our club in order, you know. And also, we sort of, Brian was saying about the late 90s and early 2000. There was no internet really. So we weren't in that situation where we would be coming on the internet and moaning 24/7 about our club, you know. So we missed
God
that.
for that.
Thank God, man. Oh, that would have been horrible. So it was United and Arsenal's turn to actually take up that thing to bring humiliation to their own club, you know. Too funny. Thank God it's not us.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have Ian brought in a good point, and I also had a question related to that. So I'm going to bring that up in one quick second, because this was also very interesting too. At least I believe it has some interest to me. Is that, you know, we're talking about expenditures and sales and the likes and the whole nine. And I mean, they spent over, it's just like, I think it's like 700 million in sales or something like that. I think here he spent 700 million in sales. I think this is 300 million actually worth of his sales just alone in these 6 players. Something like along those lines. What's that? Purchases, yes. Or sales. I'm saying sales. Sorry. Purchases, yeah. Or sales as
in the top right? Who's that in the top right?
That is
who the hell is that guy?
That is Ugarte, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's Ugarte. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. You haven't seen him in a shirt yet. Okay.
Yeah, you haven't really seen him, so that's probably why. Mason Mount, once again, big disappointment for them. It's a shame because Mason Mount was a player that we were linked to. I still think that Mason Mount would have done decent for us, to be honest with you.
I don't think
I said it. I got killed for that, man. I was getting killed on
for that
on shows. Although I was like, I wanted us to buy him. Yeah, I wanted us to buy him. I told Klopp, I thought he was the perfect Klopp player. I wouldn't buy him now, but I thought he was the perfect Klopp player.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. That's the reason why. That's the only reason why I was interested in him, was because I thought he was a good Klopp player at the time, at least when we were like 100%. Connected.
Like if you remember, it was only the year before that he'd gotten, I think it was 12 goals and 14 assists, or 11 goals and 12 assists in the league.
Yeah, he was Chelsea's player of the year, or Chelsea. Chelsea player of the year.
Yeah.
I always thought, like, I didn't like him. I go as far as say I wanted us to buy him. I thought he would have been brilliant in our system, and I thought he was a perfect Klopp player. But I hate his face, and I didn't. and he plays for Chelsea, so there was other considerations in the no column. But people were slagging him off, and basically the whole he'd be a brilliant player under Klopp was a hill that I kind of got thrown up on, really.
Yeah, got put up on.
Yeah, but I'd stand by it. I thought he would have thrived in a Jurgen Klopp midfield, but clearly, like I said, you go to Manchester United and bad things happen to you because
Yeah.
it's like
Mhm.
I mean,
it's a haunted house.
Cedric's
It's a
saying it too.
haunted
He
house.
says, problem at Manchester United is that the players are happy just to get the big paycheck, and they look like they are playing like strangers with each other. Which
Yeah.
is
Any English player that goes there, I don't really kind of judge too much on some of the bigger foreign players that might see it as the institution or whatever they might think about the place. But I do find it strange when some of the English players, someone like Mason Mount, who knows what the fuck is going on at that club, still chooses to give the best part of their kind of peak career years there. You know, he's achieved a lot, of course he has, but he would have known maybe they were the only people prepared to offer him 300 grand a week, and he had to get out of Chelsea. But he would have known he was going to, if not a sinking ship, one with a lot of fucking holes in it. You know,
KJ said it here. It says Mount turned us down for the United scum and got his just rewards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but yeah.
Yeah.
We offered him more wages, like 100 grand more than we were going to offer him.
Yeah.
Like he must be on top whack there. He must be on good wages there.
He is. He's on 3. He's on Salah money. He's on just shy of Salah money. Yeah. Not quite Salah money, but just I think he's on 3.
And let's not get it twisted. Look, these are the guys that this coach has asked for. I mean, this is like 2 versions of their approach towards plugging the holes. No pun intended. With these players, and these were his choices, and these are also now the new administration's choices. You know, with the was it Zersky, right? That's how you pronounce his name. And,
Zersky, yeah.
Arte obviously being choices by them. Martinez being the old guard, but Onana, Casemiro, they're looking like
retired.
Like a squad that just doesn't have a rudder really. Like,
I have a question for the.
Then again, this is our squad. This was a team photo day. You know, a very concise group right there, looking like proper lads in their reds and blacks. There, that's what the difference is. It's like a well put together team that fight for each other, believe in each other, believe in the badge, really appreciate the badge, and there's a lot of those guys in there that appreciate the opportunity, to be a part of this club and be a part of the heritage that is Liverpool. I think we're going in the right direction, as opposed to Manchester United has history. I'm not disputing that. They have their own version of heritage, but it's just one of those things where we have a foundation underneath this club. And I think that Klopp I think one of the reasons why I'll do a little rant here, but one of the reasons often when people ask me who was the coach who was the greatest coach that in my humble opinion, I know others have lived through other coaches that have brought glory to this club, but one of the coaches that I've seen Champions League, by the way, I've seen like us win some really cool, great titles and the likes, but seeing us be restored as a true entity in Europe, seeing us be restored as a true power in England made some real relevance in my life, in that like I could connect to Klopp in many ways, other than the fact that he has restored such brilliance and beauty to my club. And that's the reason why often when I say some of the greats, I put Klopp in that realm simply because of those reasons. But I get football romantics at times. So go ahead. That's my range.
It's a pretty. I mean, I don't think it's the wildest thing you're ever going to hear anyone say. He's
right.
What was I going to say? Something like that. Oh, sorry. Yeah. JK.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a question for the chat?
Yeah. I wanted a question for the chat. See the picture you had on before with the United players? I wanted to know which players there, like the same way Brian with Mount, like who pisses you off out of them guys. Like for me, bottom left is my guy, the one on the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
The vegan butcher.
The vegan butcher.
Yeah. Like for me, he's like that face, Oh, God help me. But we ain't even got Fernandez there. So we can add him there as well.
Yeah.
I just want to know what the
Yeah,
chat think. Who's their guys that they don't really like the face look of?
Out of all, like which footballer in the Premier League just has that face that you just
Oh, here.
want?
I'll
Do
give
you
you.
just
It
want
says
to
you asked
punch?
for Turner. There you go.
Yeah, you just want to punch. That's just you just want to punch him. Let's just be
There-
right straight up there.
Because
That
there
face
you
that
go.
you just want to punch.
you know what's funny? Actually, you know what too? They did not include. Let me double check. Yeah, they didn't include one of the biggest flops for them so far in that list, and that's this guy.
Oh,
I mean, think about it. These are
Ireland.
all names, all players that coach brought in.
Right.
Seven Hog has brought in all these players.
Yeah, but look how proud he is. Look how
He's got
angry
game
and ready
face.
he is to play
That's
for the
game
club.
face.
Oh yeah,
That's
I mean,
red. Yeah.
would you not like just give up when you saw him coming on? Would you
Yeah.
not just throw in the towel and go, "Well, we cannot beat this kind of fear"? Oh my God,
Yeah.
no, that guy is going
Well,
to wreck me. That I mean,
I think he
and then he
needs to
comes
tone it
on
down
and-
because he's making some
Yeah.
people cry. I think. So
yeah,
he's
I think
making he might be scaring some people.
but if you were to if you were to take some of those players, you know,
Oh, yeah.
there's probably they
Mhm.
go somewhere else to do something, but there's a couple of those guys that they should never have touched because it wouldn't have mattered. Like, I mean, Casemiro and Mason Mount on the best part of 600 grand a week, 700 grand a week, nearly.
Yeah. What
That's
is?
not.
I mean, like I'd even add.
Who does
There's
that?
names.
Like,
There's
who does
people.
that?
There's pictures in that should be involved in this and have. Look, Delict did not, and this is someone who was a Delict fan, as in like where Delict has gone with his career and his is sad. I don't know whether it's
Yeah.
because of the treatment he got in Germany.
Yeah, very sad.
I don't know if it was because of the treatment he got maybe in Italy, or maybe he's just not good enough and he's been like, he's been hyped up to a point where he didn't deserve the praise that he got recently, or not recently, but as during his career. But I mean, let's not get twisted. Delict looked horrible in that game as well. This recent game, he looked. I mean, he doesn't look like he's the oh well now he's here. It's locked down and everything can move on. But I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I was massive. This as KJ was too. Is saying I would like. I thought Delict was a good player. I was interested in seeing a Dutch center back pairing of VVD and Delict, and I'm very happy to see that that's not the case at the moment. I mean, like all players will respond differently on being in different teams, but yeah, go ahead.
No, JK, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, as soon as he made that decision, he wanted to go Juve. Something weren't right about that for me. I just thought this guy's big time. Him and De Jong, the other guy who went to Barca, them two, like even him, he wasn't even involved in the Euros. The guy at Barcelona, So for me, whatever them two guys have been doing in the last 5 years or so hasn't been right. But like for me, they should have been like a main part of that Holland team in the Euros just now. They weren't involved at all. So for me, it was that choice. What did he do? He went to Juventus, and I didn't really understand that. Then he went to Bayern. Bayern are a really disciplined team. The whole club is like the whole setup is just pure discipline. So Mane went there, he couldn't do it. So De Ligt went there, he didn't do it. Now he's ended up at United thinking, you know what? He's probably on about 280, 300 a week as well. Happy days, for him in that way. But football-wise, disappointed in him how he's just actually turned out. Yeah.
Yeah, I still think there's a player there, but I think it was the Bayern move that went wrong. I don't think he would. I think that Juve deal did have a kind of a smell of desperation about it. Like, someone said they were the only team that was going to give them 80 million. It was a downward step for him, because that was a sinking Juve. That was that wasn't the best Juve he was going to. But very, very strange. He wanted out of it. I don't know. You have to follow that guy's career. It went wrong at Bayern boardroom behind the scenes. Obviously, something went wrong there. There's a lot of changes going there. So I don't know. But I was the same. Like at the start, it was like, oh well, we'll never get those kind of players. When De Jong, we could go for De Jong. we could go for the lick. Yeah, we could, but we ain't going to get him. Not the money. Like when Mbappe took a 10 million euro or 10 million euro a year pay cut to go to Real Madrid. And when he did that, it meant Frankie de Jong went back to being the highest paid player in Europe. Frankie de Jong is the highest paid player in Europe. He's on 760.
Yeah,
he's on 760,000 euros a week.
It's ruined him. He was injured, but he hasn't really set the world alight.
Yeah,
like for me, player-wise, really like him.
Yeah, Mbappe.
Yeah,
you're right. Mbappe was when he was at because he was on $1 million. That was ridiculous. But like,
he took a 10 million euro a year pay cut to go to Madrid.
Yeah.
So that put Frankie back at the top.
Yeah, and that was the thing. I wanted to bring in. I thought Frankie de Jong would have been a great.
That's two Mo Salahs, by the way.
Yeah,
that's two Mo Salahs, and he's our and it's not even two, like with extra on top, and Mo is our highest paid player. I mean, yeah, you wonder why Barca have.
Look at this. Look at what Honesty is bringing up, by the way, which is blessed up to the panel in the chat. Man U apparently can't sack Ten Hag because they have to pay 17 million and they can't because of FFP or PSR, FFP, same thing, pretty much. That's wild if that's the case. That is super, super wild. There was a question here. Oh, okay. This is what I was going to bring up too. This is a question or a statement by Ian. It was just earlier, and I said that I would bring this up. Ian says, think we will know if we are title contenders after Christmas. Still early days for us and Arnie yet. Let's just go game by game and hope our key players stay fit. That's absolutely spot on, Ian. The question I was going to ask, I think I might have asked it yesterday, but I'll just ask it again just to make sure we get clarification. Because I did ask on Page and Red's show too. I asked it to Chris, Crab, and to Pop, who was there. I asked this question: which is the more which month are you more do you have more trepidation for? Which month are you do you find to be the month that you give a little bit more attention to and as to being worried about getting through? Is it October or is it November that you think is going to be the more difficult month to handle? I asked that question because both months have very big games in it. November more so, I think, is more so towards Champions League, and October more so for the Premier League. If you need, let me bring up the. Give me 1 second. I'll bring up the schedules for you, and I'll read out the schedules just so we can get an idea. So October is going to be, obviously we have the Bologna game at home, but October is also including Crystal Palace versus Crystal Palace away. Chelsea, though, this is where it starts to get a little more complex. Chelsea at home, and then we have Leipzig in the Champions League, and then we have a trip to Arsenal in October to end, or that's not even the end of our trip. Arsenal is on the 27th of October, and then we have Brighton, which is that League Cup game against a Brighton team. Did take a little bit of a knock just recently with their beatdown. I think they got I would call it beatdown. They lost the game 4-2 or something like that, I think it was. But we traveled there for the League Cup on the 29th of October. I don't know if that's a quick turnover, by the way. If we got to play on the 27th of October, and then we got to play on the 29th of that's only a 2-day turnover. And then I'll give you November. Let me just give, and then Brian, I'll let you chime in. I just want to give you the November fixtures. November then would be Brighton at Liverpool. We have then the Leverkusen game at home. We then have Villa in the league, but at home. We travel to Southampton, and then we have Real Madrid in the Champions League at home to pretty much end off November. So which of those months is more of the, you're circling that month as you're like, oh, this is going to be the rough patch? Both of them are they're both, roller coaster moments in our campaign, but which one is more of a roller coaster for you? Brian, I know I heard you wanted to chime in, and then we can go to JK then.
Oh no, sorry, no, that was just me kind of making random agreement noises.
Oh, sorry. Okay, all right.
Or just when people say something. Sorry, it's just me. No, I wouldn't interrupt you.
Yeah.
No, we did it last night. The next month is sort of the main one. If you like that, you play what's in front of you. But let's just say,
and it's interesting too. I just mentioned those real quick, Brian. I mentioned those two things, and a lot of people are looking at it as, or not a lot, but I've seen December. It's like December is more important to them than the October, November fixtures, which is kind of interesting. If you want to throw that wild card in, you can say December. But go ahead, Brian. I thought October, November.
Well, yeah.
Months. Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to be hypothetical. So, like, if we have a strong squad, which of those games? Yeah, look, to me, it's more about bring it on. We're playing Real Madrid, and we're playing these guys for a reason. It's because we're at the top table. I don't really worry about, like, these are the ones that I think, oh man, we've got I got 3 days of football, and one of those days is Real Madrid, and the other one is Man City, or the other is this. I'm like, bring it on, man. I don't want to be watching us playing Bournemouth and Bologna. I want to watch us in these big games. So it's not fear, it's not trepidation. It's more about the opportunity to go out and do it, and just go and beat these teams, and show how good we are. Because they're not all, I told you, Man City can't keep with. There will be a drop off at one point, and it only takes an injury here, an injury there. They can't keep winning trebles every year. They'll probably win another one next year if they're still around and they're allowed to play football, but they'll have off years. So to me, it's like, let's go and get these guys. Let's go and get these points. Let's go and play these games. So I suppose which one would I be most looking forward to? I suppose would be, that kind of November run. I suppose. But I look forward to, like, there's nothing better than Christmas football. Games every 2 days, and as long as they mean something. If you're top of the league, and then you're looking at, you're top of the league, and then an hour later, City are playing on Christmas Eve or something, or New Year's, or Stephen's Day, that's kind of what you're in it for. So I say bring it on, man, bring it on.
Yeah, Bonkers is saying the same. He says, bring it on, bring them on. I feel you. I don't deal with scared business. Like, you ever see the movie Belly? Original Don Dada here, like, I do not deal scared business, so it is what it is. I say bring it on. I just prepare for the worst, expect the best type concept, and our mentality. And I know that a lot of us have that. I was just wondering, I just looking at that fixture, like a lot of, I've heard that a lot of people have really taken, which I can understand too. They've really seen the start of our season as being light, in the sense of our opponents haven't been the most stellar of opponents, apparently, in a lot of people's, not a lot of people's, but in some people's mindsets. And they've said that we are maybe kind of hiding under a relatively easier schedule as of late. Look, you got to play the games that are. Everyone has to just play the games that are in front of them. Period. Like, as in, you get through them. Any game in the Premier League, much less any game, obviously, in the Champions League, is going to be a difficult run, and even so much so when we in the cup games too, when we're getting Premier League teams and talent, that we have to face, as opposed to getting like some of the quote unquote easier settings with some of the teams from the lower rings. But I was asking if you guys had if you guys can put October or November, just tell me. I'm starring your comments. Just tell me what you guys thought. If it was October for you, is that the month that you have circled as being like, the the big roller coaster, or is it November? And if you really want to, and you want to make a wild card into it, you can put December. I guess I didn't really look at December. I know we have obviously our derbies in there and stuff like that, but I haven't looked at December really. I know we have. Oh, I see why. Because we have City. We start off with Man City at home in December. Then we have Newcastle. Then we have obviously a rivalry game against Everton at Everton. That's a tough start to December. And then we have Girona in Champions League. Oh yeah, December looks like
yeah. Home away. Can you just say whether they're home away?
Okay, yeah, sure. In December we have Man City at home. Then we have Newcastle on the road. Then we have Everton on the road. Or not necessarily on the road. Next, across the street, I guess you could say. Away. Yeah. Girona away. We have that's obviously Champions League. Then we go back to Prem settings, and we have Fulham at home. We have Spurs away. We have Leicester home. Then we have West Ham away. And then that's it. That's it for December.
Mm-hmm. I think Leicester's Boxing Day. Yeah.
It starts off bad, and then it kind of settles down. Yeah, I don't mind going into Christmas with some easier games.
That's okay that month, December. That's okay.
Like West Ham and Leicester are right at the end of it there, and like we know West Ham versus Liverpool, we know what happens. Probably they will lose this one, but you can look forward to that one.
Right, right.
And Leicester, I cannot wait. Sorry, Ant, if you're listening, but I cannot wait to slap them up again. It's been too long. I really can't.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry. I know you're not that kind of guy, but some of the songs, some sets of fans tend to bring some sets of songs out, and yeah, I like beating Leicester. Let's just put it that way. It's good to see them back in the Premier League, with their tiny budget and their fairy tale story and their academy. Oh, hang on, sorry, what's that? Oh yeah, 300 million a year. Okay, yeah, forget that. Yeah, they're not a fairy tale story at all, man. No wonder they want those FFP rules ripped up. So that's a good end to December. That's nice around Christmas time. You don't want City and Spurs on the last two games in December. Around that mad time when you're playing everybody. So I like the Leicester and West Ham fixtures towards the end of it and get City out of the way. Hang on, remind me, City at home or away?
City is home. We have Manchester City at home.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, yeah, that could be okay. That could be okay. I mean, Spurs is Spurs. Fuck knows what's going to happen there. That could be anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Spurs.
Newcastle away isn't going to be.
Doesn't
Newcastle
bother me.
away isn't never an easy game, but it is a game that we tend to win. Everton, again, who knows where Everton will be mentally by that point? Because I mean they're going through some really But we should be able to go in there. I think that's a game where I just want to Newcastle Everton games away. I just want to get through those healthy. I know we'll get a result of some kind, or at least I honestly believe we should get some type of result in either both of those games. But the main result, obviously through any game, but the main result through those particular games, because I know how they're going to play, is that I don't want to go through and get any injuries or anything stupid like red cards or crap like that in that game.
No, I think Slot's measured approach and his calm demeanor and his slightly kind of not detached way, but slightly perfunctory would be the word I would use, but just he's a little step back from things, not over emotional. That will help with going into a first Everton derby. Like he's not going to get caught up. He's just going to see that as he'll go, oh yeah, look, I get it. It's a big game, Liverpool Everton, but to him it'll just be another game.
Yeah,
you prepare the same way and all that, and those games aren't what they used to be. So I think his slightly less emotional way of doing things is actually helpful for him coming into these situations. Whereas Klopp at the start, he needed that emotion. to make us perform. These players don't need to perform on emotion, you know, that whereas some of the older guys might have. And someone was mentioned there earlier on. I haven't forgotten it. There, when this you showed this picture first, they said they couldn't believe how much taller Ali was than Kelleher. I'm telling you, man, Ali had just got a bigger stool. Okay, they added an extra foot on Ali's stool so he can stand on the chair that he's on. He got some books and everything. Keller is at least 3 inches taller than him. Don't worry about that. Keller's just like, what's going on here? It's like, yeah, the books and everything. That's all that is. Ali is not bigger than Keller. No way.
I do have your questions start. Hi, Laura, I got your questions start. If you have questions or you want to something that you really want the chat to address or try to at least bring up amongst the chat and the panel too, please do put in the comments. You know how we do here. We do include your comments and your questions. And also, I did have your answers as well. I believe I have most of them that you guys offered for the October or November comment that I asked. Let's see. Like I said, KJ had December. Nolante says October from tomorrow. On the 30th of October. I'm not certain which one you're talking about, or I don't know why I put that in there. But Honesty also said October because if you collect points versus Arsenal, Chelsea, beat Leipzig, draw with Leverkusen, I'm happy. In November, draw to Madrid, beat City, or feel we can win all the rest of the games. Okay. KJ had it as October and November excite him. And this is the question that Eiler put in there. He says, we have confidence now, 12th man, but do we really feel at this point that LFC is a title contender? Look, I have them as a title contender. I got pushed into a spot because we didn't do, I know some channels did the whole like picking the top 4, top 6, picking the entire placement of every team in the league. Some channels have done. We didn't do that on the channel. But I did get pushed into answering a question of who was my top 4 or who I thought could end up being top 4. I did say
that only took about an hour.
Yeah. To get a
straight answer out of you on a top 4, probably. Yeah.
No, I gave it.
As you said, you were
right away. I said my top 4 was.
But you said the word yourself. You said you were forced or whatever.
Yeah,
you were.
Because I don't want to. Because predictions. You know how people do. They clip them up in the array to just pounce on you. And they're just that. I'm not Nostradamus. I'm just going with. I'm going with a little bit of bias. I will be openly saying that. And I also will say that I'm going with a little bit of hope in my heart as well. So those things definitely, put their thumb on the scale a little bit towards Liverpool being my top choice. But I have Liverpool winning the league this year because I was hoping and thinking that we could get some, hopefully we can stay, as Ian put, stay physically fit and in form. I thought last year, if we had a Mo Salah that wasn't injured from AFCON, or we had a Trent that wasn't injured from FA Cup, or if we had like some of these key players in the final stretch, I think we could have won the title last year, to be honest with you. I think we would have definitely made a real concerted effort at trying to at least be there at the end of the year. I think us getting a straight start the way that we have this year is perfect. We got to keep pace with these teams. And now that they're starting to see the injuries affect them, then hey, you know what? That's too bad for them. We'll just continue to rock and roll and go forward with our fixtures. But I also had top 4. I had Liverpool at the top. I think I had Liverpool. I want to say I had Liverpool, Arsenal, City, and then Villa. I think I had as my top 4. Which is kind of wild, but I think I did say that was going to be a top 4. Chelsea is making a concerted effort to make my prediction wrong. I admit that. They definitely look like a team that I had them in my top 6, but I did not have them in my top 4. So I'm honestly and openly going to admit that. But anyways, let me also get this too in here. There was another question too, I think, as well.
There's a guy in Hyler, there's a guy in Italy that they're looking at. I want to say his name is Gucci, but his name isn't Gucci. It's something like Gucci.
Oh yeah, I like him already. What are we talking about?
They've got who is he playing for? Is he playing for Torino? I think he's the DM for Torino.
Right.
And is it Rucci? It might be Rucci or Ricci. Ricci. I think it's Ricci, like Christina Ricci. Yeah, I remember thinking it was like the actress. So I think it's a guy called Ricci that's playing for Torino, I think. And that's who I saw a story about, that they were looking at him in January to come in for Rodri. But yeah, I haven't seen any, like, I know we were talking about last night the Mateus Nunes interview, and him talking about how he could plug the gap and then getting dropped. I was had a bit of fun with that, but he's still there. But yeah, I think, like, I see it. I know the question was to you, but I see it right now. If you add, and you have to, we won't get away. We're not that lucky. We'll get injuries. So in January, if you add 2 to this squad, and we're relatively lucky with injuries, like, you look at the impact that Diaz had. We signed Diaz in January. Like, they talk, like, January didn't used to be a happy hunting ground, but that's more to do with price and availability as opposed to player impact, because you're getting players who usually are fit and in form if they're good. So if we were second, say we draw, but we're in a couple of points, we got a strong squad, and you bring in to that team in January a top quality DM and an attacker, or a centre half to give you a new option, and a DM to give us rotation, to give us cover options, all of that. Because we can't get away with this for the season with just playing the same 14 players basically every week. So if we can keep it till then, right now, yeah, with what's going on around with everybody else, I think Arsenal are in danger of becoming consumed by themselves a little bit and losing focus. City are just hopefully having an off year. So I definitely think we're contenders.
Yeah.
But if we have luck,
that Leicester
if
game,
we have luck with injury,
you talked about Leicester, and I'm just interjecting.
You always need luck. You always need luck with injuries. That's the one thing. You always need luck with injuries. And hey, we might get it. We might go through the season without having a Van Dijk, or a Rodri, or a whatever, or even just a wrong fucking guy at the wrong fucking time.
At the wrong time.
Even if it's only for a month and a half, but it's just the worst month and a half.
Right.
A Salah out, while we have 4 really.
Diego out with that weird injury towards the end of the year. We could have used him at the end of the year, Again, there are people out there that were 6 games into Bradley being Trent's deputy or replacement. They were saying, "Oh, let's just get rid of Trent," and then Trent comes back and Trent does well for us and shows the value and the brilliance of himself, and then he unfortunately gets hurt again. And that bit of brilliance could have helped us in those last runs. I was going to say, though, you mentioned Arsenal. Yeah, when they just went up against Leicester, and at one point, 2-2 at Emirates, you're thinking like, okay, can Leicester really, are Arsenal going to allow for Leicester to come in and really, get a result at the Emirates? Fortunately for themselves, they were able to get 2 goals in the final, extra time. But just like you said, I think it's going to be a real wake-up call for Arsenal that they're going to have to really start putting together a concerted effort when it comes to their offensive prowess. They've definitely focused on their defense, and that is certainly fortunate. But if teams like Leicester are able to score on you, then in the likes, then all of a sudden it puts a different slant on how and why or where or when and you're going to be able to get these victories, and that's going to be interesting. But long may it continue for both Arsenal and City. I'm more focused, this as Brian said, on our run and our health. So,
JK, do you think we're title contenders? Would you have us as?
Like, for me, Rodri, that injury puts us sort of in prime position. So for me, Yeah, and I'm also like we want about the months, which ones might be tricky, this, that, and the other. And I think slot September month was for me the most important out of all of these months because that was the start of his career with us. And he's done pretty well.
Yeah,
So
good
for me,
point.
that was the most important. But I view like I always say we're going to win the league at the start of the season. You know, even if we don't buy no players, like we got Chiesa in, that's it. But I still said we're gonna win the league because I support Liverpool. You know, we're not Man United, we're not Arsenal. So that's why I'm always confident of us winning the league.
Oh yeah, we're
Yeah.
always contenders. I think we're always a contender.
Yeah, we are.
Like we will never be favorite. You know, with the bookies at the start of the season with City in the league, you'll never be. They'll just be the favorites. You know.
Let me
We'll always
get
be
some of these.
contenders. Always contenders.
Let me get some of these comments to accent what we're talking about here. I will bring that question up, Dustin. I just saw your question, Dustin. Give me 1 second. Arsenal have focused so much on their defense. Yeah, I'm gonna get to them. Arsenal have focused so much on their defense, they've lost their attacking prowess. I agree with this completely, Honcho. They will be hard to beat this season, but I feel will draw a lot of games, which will be their downfall. That's a very, very, very good point. Something I brought up too is like I'm seeing City get draws. I'm like, yeah, when I see City getting draws, I'm like, it quickly reminds me of what we went through in a couple of our title runs where those draws ended up hurting us because I get it. You're getting a point. It's better than getting no points, obviously. But when I don't think City was going for the draw, but when you do end up resulting in draws, those 2 points are crucial. And in the draw, especially when it's like a City versus Arsenal or the likes, the reason why I want to see a draw is because those are two teams that I want to see lose points, as opposed to, if City wins and Arsenal don't get any points, well, yes, it hurts Arsenal more, and we can, profit from that by furthering our slice. But I always look at it as when two big teams or two teams that we're contending with are playing each other, I don't want either team to lose. I want them to get a draw because that way we're gaining points on both of those teams. That's my perspective.
I never understand that argument at all. When people say, who do you want to? It's like, I'm sorry, but are you stupid? When did you start watching football? There's an answer to this, and there's a right answer, and there's only one answer. You want a draw. That's what you want. Yeah. And then people will be like, oh, yeah, but Arsenal have to play. No, when you're up against, you want a draw. That's the best result.
Exactly.
And people will start arguing, but we play City in 6 months, and if we have two more, it's like, no, listen, it's easy. Your two main rivals are playing with each other or against each other. A draw is the greatest.
Draw is the best solution. Best answer you can see is a draw. That's why
I just want to ask.
It's weird. I remember I was watching someone's watch along or something. I already know. Big shout out to Drifty. For some reason I was up and I was watching it with Drifty and Drifty TV, by the way, for those out there. And when I was watching it, I was sitting there rooting for, I'm up here rooting for City to score. And I'm just like, what the heck? Yeah, that feels weird. You don't want to openly admit or say that out loud. But the only reason why I'm rooting for them to score is because I want to draw. I don't want to see Arsenal win. I don't want to see City win. The only thing I want to see are draws from them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all.
But I was just wondering, JK, the chat, I've rarely seen more drama and stories come out of a game. Not rarely, but recently, than out of this City and Arsenal draw. Because of all the stuff that's going on with Arteta and Haaland and Gabriel and Pep and the kicking and the time wasting and the fouling and the red cards and all of it. There's something that happens between now. I know why Arsenal hate them, because they showed up, they had all the money in the world, and they thought, right, well, who can we take players off? Arsenal have no money right now because they're paying for their new stadium. And they just went and they took Clichy, and then they took Adebayor, and then they took Sanya, and then they took Toure,
Nasri.
and then they took Nasri. You know, like that's why Arsenal fans hate Man City, because they just showed up and just took all of their. Well, they didn't even take their best. They never took a Fabregas or a Van Persie in their peak. You know, they got Vieira in the end. You know, at the end of his career, but they did just come along to start throwing money at Arsenal players. That's why they hate them, the Arsenal fans. I remember someone trying to figure it out the other day on a live stream why Arsenal fans dislike them so much, and I was like, dude, you're in your mid-30s. You should know this. You really should know why Arsenal don't like Man City.
Yeah.
Like we just said there, Adebayor, Sanya, Nasri. Come on, it wasn't that long ago. You should know this. The same person also said that we have a respectful rivalry with Man City. I don't respect the fucking iota of that club. That is the worst statement. That we have no respect for the rivalry with them. We do not respect them. No real Liverpool fan respects Man City, respects anything about them. Maybe we don't have we don't have any rivalry with them, as far as I'm concerned. They're just this fake team that's over there doing fake shit. They can do whatever they want. I have no rivalry with that because I don't consider it legitimate. So I didn't agree with anything this guy was saying, to be honest with you. But yeah, Arsenal fans really hate Man City. That's why the amount of drama just out of this one game. Like, that's why I was saying earlier on, I'm happy to stand back and let them consume all the headlines, you know, the way they are. Because they're just losing their heads, man. Arsenal fans are on, you know, I almost want them to win one so they can just chill the fuck out. Because they're getting
No. Yeah, I know what you mean, but
that's not good.
I don't want that to happen.
I know.
Let's not get too crazy. Let's not get too.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. They're like a relative that's having a breakdown. Yeah. It's just like, okay, just you know.
You know what? I think quickly, bro. I think Arsenal, they want to be invited to the party. Like the party is us, Man United, Man City, like Champions League, even Chelsea. Even Arsenal always fail to win the Champions League, so they feel like they've missed out on something, and they want to be in the top with the top dogs. You know, that's why their fans are always OTT with how they're doing or whatever it is. You know, like a 3-2 win against Leicester, they're on top of the world. You know, like celebrating, we're going to win the league and this, that, and that, because that's what they've become. You know, that's what I always believe.
Yeah. By the way, for those that are watching the game, watching Prem in the background, possibly, trust me, it's not a game worth watching, really, unless you just want to, you know, laugh at Southampton for some reason. But Southampton are down 3-0 to Bournemouth.
Well, I heard he was going to get sacked today, the Southampton manager, before the game.
Oh, really?
Something like that. Someone was telling me. So I'll be surprised if he's not sacked tomorrow or the day after.
Don't worry, JK. Nobody knows who he is. Don't worry. Nobody
I was going to say, I got to look him up.
Just call him the Southampton manager, because absolutely nobody has a clue who he is.
Yeah. Shout out to Scotland. Shout out to Mr. Martin. Russell Martin is the coach of Southampton.
Yeah, Mr. Martin, yeah.
There you go.
And
there you go.
There you
Who
go.
Knew?
Who knew?
Oh, I knew.
I wanted to be sure to get this other comment. KJ says, we lost the league due to not being clinical, in his opinion. Yes, we could see what we were tired as a team, but we still created enough chances to score from, but we didn't. Diego missing was massive for us, for us dropping off. I think, look, Diego, I thought the fact that we were in and out of being able to utilize Salah, who did pick up on he's normally Mr. Dependable when it comes to availability, and after that AFCON, you know, he just wasn't. And like, you know, we already deal with him coming back sometimes with not the most greatest of mental, you know, focuses once he leaves AFCON, but to actually have a physical ailment was not exactly easy to deal with either. Other players on that list too that weren't involved or weren't able and willing to, or able to play. I'm not saying willing, but definitely able to play. Nolante also said, like the optimistic view, boys, but they have let me down. This is Malante. They have let him down if we do not rest VVD and Salah in certain OL games. What is that? In certain OL games. What would OL be?
Online games.
I think online games. That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
In certain
FIFA. You know about FIFA.
Oh, maybe it's out of league games. Maybe in certain out of league games, we are not winning it, and I don't know if that means OL. I don't know if that means. Malante, tell me what you mean by OL. Oh, PL. I got you.
Okay.
In certain Premier League games, we are not winning it, and I only believe we are in a title race if there's 5 games to go. I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I mean, nobody can tell anybody how to. I was informed of this or reminded of this myself the other day, but that nobody can tell anyone how to support the club. And of course, we're all going to have our things. But I thought it was then also hilarious because I pointed out to that person, and it was a Bill Shankly quote. If you can't watch us at our worst, don't deserve to watch us at our best.
Yeah. Or if you can't support us when we lose, draw and
don't
lose.
Watch us when we win. Yeah, basically.
Don't support us and watch us when we win, because we need to support at all times, every day. That's in my opinion the true red.
I was told I was pointed out to me that don't tell other people how to support the club or watch the game. And it turns out, I'm not going to point this person's name out, but they weren't even watching the match. They were just watching the watch on. Yeah. So, and they were talking about how bad we were and who needs to.
And they're getting the chat was kind of influencing their perspectives.
So yeah, and then they admitted that they weren't actually watching the match.
That's funny.
So maybe I might tell someone like that how to support the club. And suggestion number 1 would be watch the match.
Yeah.
Then talk.
Yeah. Then talk. Very certainly, for sure. Not just Rodri. Oh, these comments by Bernie. Arsenal will have to have a lot of staying power to get through all rounds of all competitions. Extremely, extremely valid point. Bernie with always the jewels. I love it. There are only City and us who are used to that pressure. That's why we're diamonds.
Arsenal have no strikers, boys. Arsenal have no strikers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ian goes on to say how this group of players manage their fitness and the demands of the Champions League and domestic schedules will be crucial. Last year, we ran out of steam after February with some jaded performances. That's his biggest worry. Tyler also said the price of Bruno G off course from Man City in January would be arm and a leg and probably also a loan. They have that Alvarez. I will admit though that Alvarez sale for them was a huge feather in their cap for City when it comes to being able to maneuver around the PSR and stuff like that. The money they got from Atletico was
madness.
Yeah,
but he scored the other day, Alvarez.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a very, very good player. Yeah. So I mean, I would love to have that kind of player on our team, especially for the price that they paid for him initially to bring him in was peanuts. That was like you could almost say that was like their Coutinho signing almost in a sense.
As soon as JK will tell you last year, the second Haaland was out, you put Alvarez in your fantasy team. It was just the guy was just he actually didn't perform a bit last season, but before that, he was clearly not the same player. But goals, assists, pretty much every game, every second game, the guy was in. He was someone that you could put. He would perform at a top level in the game compared to, and he'd be like 7 million compared to. But the guy, he was one of those guys where you look at it and go, Christ Almighty, you can't be sitting on the bench. You just can't. You're too good to sit on the bench, but you will at this with Foden and Haaland and whatever. Surprised that Atletico had that kind of money to lay down on him. and that he went there. I thought he was kind of a Barca, maybe Bayern type of guy. But yeah, that they lost him. I mean, that's someone mentioned there earlier on that they haven't been investing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Hyler talked about how Man City with De Bruyne, like they haven't bought, like they have, today with or this year with Savinho, but they bought him from one of their feeder clubs that they own in their City Group, the City Group club. But think about it, Hyler, you're the clever financial guy. Think about it. Why haven't they been investing? Because there's a big, huge fucking charge coming down the river.
Yeah.
There's a huge, big court case coming down the river. So they're not going to go and throw 200 million at something that they don't know is it still going to be in the Premier League in a year's time. Now, they can hope, but they don't know. So that's why they're not investing. That's why they haven't gone out and done this and that. And again, like there's only so much you can add to that squad. But
there's
guarantee you, but just quickly to finish, guarantee you, if they get found innocent, then the taps will get turned on again.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you will see investment. When they know they're good to go and they can wipe their hands and spend what they want, then you'll see. But the reason they're not investing big is because they're sitting going, hang on a minute, let's see what happens with this fucking court case. Yeah. That tells you they don't know. That tells you that they in no way are convinced that they're going to get found innocent.
Not only this court case, but even it wasn't a court case. Technically, it was an arbitration case, but
the other one that's finished.
Yeah,
that's finished. That's come to its conclusion now, and we won't know because that's boring. We won't go into that, but that's
right.
Come to.
I have a feeling that if it did go in the favor of City, that there will be. I don't know if there is the ability to appeal, but if there is the ability to appeal, and they end up losing out to City, that they will probably make an appeal for that because. I think that what City is asking for in that APT case is absolutely a slippery slope towards a real issue for the league and other leagues in general. It's going to be very, very ugly what happens with how the little teams, and I know that you might be saying, oh, well, you're Liverpool, you don't care about little teams or you don't care about the little guys. More so, I'm just looking at it from a perspective of the Premier League in general, the structure and foundation of it will be affected by that case. And I think that despite the fact it'll help big teams, certainly. It'll help especially the rich city-state connected teams, especially. And I think that that's where they have to keep in mind.
If you can afford to invent your own airline, if you can afford to invent your own, I don't know, bank that will sponsor your club, then yeah, it's kind of open season. You can do whatever you want.
There's also this right here. So I'm going to give a little bit of background of what I just saw this little piece of an article. This is something that let me bring it up here. Brian wanted to talk about. Let me make sure I share the right tab. This particular individual right here, Diarra, right? Ex-Arsenal midfielder, is at the center of a legal case against FIFA. Let me read the little excerpts, and then I'll let Brian go more in depth into what he wants to. Is at the center of a legal case against FIFA stemming from his spell with Russian side Lokomotiv Moscow. To briefly recap what happened after Diarra fell out with Lokomotiv head coach Kachuk, the team tried to reduce his salary. He refused to take the pay cut and refused to show up to training. And the club canceled his contract over that refusal. Lokomotiv then took the matter to FIFA, who banned the player before the Court of Arbitration for Sport ordered Diarra to pay them 10.5 million plus interest and compensation for the 20 million transfer fee they paid for him. They really went after him. The legal case is based largely on what happened next. Belgian club Royal Charleroi made Diarra an offer. Made Diarra an offer, but ultimately pulled out when they received no guarantees that they wouldn't have to pay compensation to Lokomotiv. The Guardian, that's who this article is from, reported that Diarra's legal team are arguing that the amounts to a restriction of trade and a breach of European labor law, as FIFA refused to issue the international transfer certificate that would have allowed Diarra to engage in his profession. The Court of Justice of the European Union are now deciding whether FIFA's refusal was lawful or not. If not, FIFA would reportedly have to overhaul the whole ITC process, and current assignments suggest it's likely the ruling will go against FIFA. The result could be FIFA losing its authority in the transfer market, with clubs and players in control. With clubs and players in control instead. The decision will be confirmed on October 4th, which is only a few days away. Do you want to go more in depth or speak further on that, Brian?
Oh, well, no, that's pretty much just what I was going to say, really,
Okay.
with that whole bit. I wasn't sure if people had heard too much about it. I can't go more in depth than that. I'm not clever enough to know.
Or did you want to?
It's
Yeah,
quite,
do you want to give an
no, but
opinion?
it's quite complicated. I mean, already just somebody could hear that and they go, hang on, what? I mean, what's the
Yeah.
issue? Like, why
Yeah.
is it? But basically what's happened, the way I can see it, is that all that shite that happened with him and the Russian club and all that, that's one thing. But he wanted to accept a contract and he was kind of free, as it were. You know, and FIFA stopped him. FIFA basically stopped him from moving. And like you mentioned, it's the key word in that is restriction of trade. Because football, like, this is what in Europe we all think football. There's laws out there. There's laws in Europe that cut through all this fucking shit. Doesn't matter if you're Erling Haaland, Pep Guardiola, you're Premier League. You have a job at an employer, and he has rules. Doesn't matter if it's a printing firm, you're a bricklayer, or a 300 grand a week footballer. You are an employee at a business. You know, the same rules apply. So this whole restriction of trade thing basically is kind of saying that FIFA don't have the authority. So he's challenged their authority. And it looks like they've kind of fucked up, which they did before. And this is the same guy, by the way. It's the same lawyer that Jean-Marc Bosman had. And Jean-Marc Bosman if it wasn't for him, there's no free transfers. Like, they saw this stupid rule that was there, and this guy's come in. And now apparently, I don't know how far reaching this is, but apparently this could lead to a completely different way of transfers happening, is what's most important to fans. Like, the way that transfers now are happening are being governed by FIFA to a degree.
Right.
And this ruling, kind of, they're calling it like the Bosman 2, you know, Bosman 2.0. It will be as big as that, and it will allow people to negotiate completely differently in a way that it won't have to go through all these, whatever it might be, because FIFA have gone out and kind of shot themselves in the foot, by the sounds of it, by kind of stopping this one rant like Lassana Diarra. Like, he was, when this was happening, like, he was well towards the end of his career. Charlotte will offer him a contract. They step in. He's not even contesting the fact that he has to give fucking the Russians 20 million, you know, which is what it's added up to apparently for him, with all the.
Well, not many of us want to owe the Russians any money, but go ahead.
Yeah, especially not 20 million. You know, not today's economy.
That's on some John Wick settings or something.
So, yeah, I mean, I'd like to see it expanded on what it means, but the guy that was writing this article was saying, like, if this goes down, like, transfers will be just a new Wild West for a while. People like it'll be like the players negotiating directly with clubs and all this kind of stuff. You know, it's strange that they didn't really go into that. But I didn't see this coming. I didn't know a lot about this, but it's come out of nowhere. And like, there's a lot of court case stuff. And like you said, he's kind of expected to win because it's probably some like 30-year-old FIFA bullshit that they haven't thought about updating.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they've just gone and broken you, because this is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how big you are.
Yeah.
If you break EU law is EU law.
Yeah.
It's just EU law. It doesn't matter if you're fucking like Tom Hanks or the Queen or Pope. It just doesn't matter. It will come down to that, and you'll get found guilty if you've done something wrong. You'll get regulated. Exactly. They don't care who you are or what you are. It's in the book. There you go. That's the law. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
I think also with the and this is separate somewhat from what this particular Diarra case is. But when just getting back to the city comments or city situation, look, I mean, it's a very big deal for a sovereign or, a city-state style nation that owns a club that's coming into, I've heard all the connections to how the clubs are foundational, how they're so rooted into the fabric of the communities that they represent and are part of, and here is a city, an outside group, a city group, basically saying, we're going to take away a lot of those safety nets that allowed for those other teams to really be a part of this league, to really even have an inkling of a hope of ever like getting into some of the better parts of why they are a part of the Premier League or a part of this football pyramid that exists in England. And you take away your ability to really work out something financially that's going to keep you above board and also keep you competitive in the league. And then you take away, some of the things that they're alleged in these current 130 charges that the city's coming across. It is ridiculous. But I wanted to ask an even bigger question out there, a huge question out there. And it's important that I get your you can say left or right, which side you're on, which side of the fence you're on. But this is a big question here. Ali, beard or no beard? Did I get a couple of you guys? Maybe no.
You're not. I knew there was something common. I know with you. I know there's something common.
Beard or no beard? Yes, left or right, however you want to put it in the chat. Beard or no beard? We've seen. I don't know if I like the purple. By the way, if I like the purple. I like purple as in the color. I like the color purple.
Mm-hmm.
We've had
I just want to see. I just want to see the stats on saves per beard. I mean,
saves
how many?
Per beard?
Yeah. Like how many saves does he have with the beard versus how many does he have without the beard?
Yeah,
and then I can, because I'm a stats guy, so it's all about that. So
it's
saves per beard is the only way to split this, as far as I'm concerned.
I can understand. Yeah, don't let the kids,
they're not great, man. Neither of them is a great kid, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be happy to be.
I like the black one that they have. He has a black one.
Oh, the black kid is great, but neither of them is.
Yeah,
they're not nice at all. That black kid, those black kids are fantastic. Like, they are great, especially the black. Yeah, the black training kit. But when he came out with it first, he looks great.
I meant the black. Yeah, the black goalie kit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when he's got black gloves, black kit. I mean, big keeper, looks intimidating. That's what you want.
Yeah, the purple looks a little bit like Grimacy, like Grimace from McDonald's over there. That's not good. And then the green, he kind of almost like blends in with the pitch, I don't know. Maybe that was the reason. Maybe he's trying to go camouflage. Maybe he's trying to camouflage himself up. But yes, beard or no beard, left or right, which one is it for you? KJ saying no beard. Marion saying beard. Okay. Bernie is saying she likes the stubble or the no beard. Okay.
Marion's getting that printed up now as a double poster.
Yeah, definitely. It's getting cold.
Yeah, for me, the beard.
Saying. Yeah.
Beard for you, JK, is it?
Yeah, he looks healthier with the beard. You know what I mean? The one on the right, he looks like he hasn't eaten for days.
Bit pasty, all right. Yeah, a little bit pasty. I think you're correct. Yeah,
I can see that.
The beard, he looks like a Hugo Boss model or something,
Yeah, the purple doesn't help him looking pasty though. So the whole thing, he looks a bit ill.
Yeah. Hancho's saying needs the beard back. Big up Philip. Beard. Okay. Bernie's saying he needs just a stubble, aka light beard. I got you.
3-day beard, yep.
Yeah. 5 o'clock shadow, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Donnarumma's beard, Hylor. I don't think he can grow a proper one. Donnarumma is like he was
I
kind of
haven't seen
going
Donnarumma's
bald by
beard.
the time he was 22.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, like he's going bald already, Donnarumma, and he's still young, but he's got one of those
Ooh, maybe
beards
that's
as well.
oh, okay. He's
It
trying to
still looks
distract you.
really thin. Yeah, but
He's
it
trying to
doesn't grow
distract you
thick.
with the beard growth.
Yeah, but it doesn't because the beard
Yeah.
looks just as thin. He can't
Mhm.
grow a thick beard. Yeah, Donnarumma. Yeah, he's not doing that. Mamrashvili, has he got a beard as well?
I think
Yeah,
he does, but then I mean, like he kind of can. He can pull it off for sure. He looks like Kaiser
6'7", man. He can
Yeah,
do
he's
whatever
like
he
Kaiser
wants. He
Soze,
can do what he wants.
you
Yeah,
know, from
whatever, man,
the
you do.
the
I'll
usual
argue with you, man.
suspects. I mean,
Yeah.
like, yeah. Hollywood Rock, big up Hollywood Rock, by the way. He's saying
Hollywood.
he prefers Ali with the beard. Okay, I got you. By the way, this is your answer. This is your answer, Brian.
I
She
see it.
already
I see
framed
it.
the photo. Yes, in the black kit, by the way. Yes, for certain. It looks like a
You
different.
got to
black
get
kit.
that signed, Marianne. You got to get that signed. You got to get yourself some
Absolutely.
signed one.
Give it to
Not that hard.
Mary. Give it
Tell
to
your
Norm.
hobby.
Yeah, give it to
Yeah.
Norm one day, and then Norm will get it signed for you, most likely, or maybe even Frank. Frank could get it signed probably too.
Norm will just keep it though. You have it on his word.
Yeah. He might say, "I
You're
lost
like,
it on the way home."
What Ali photo?
He wouldn't do that. Norm's a stand-up guy. Never would say that. We're joking with you, Norm. If you're out there listening, or if you please on the replay, we're joking with you. Yes.
Yeah, saves per beard. I'm still waiting for it in the chat. All the stats people, saves per beard.
Yeah, for the stats people to tell us what the deal is. A quick question though, and this is just we got the win, so it doesn't really matter that much. I get that in the whole nine. However, do you think that we maybe? I mean, do you think we maybe rushed Ali back? Should we maybe have kept him on a? Would you have kept him? Maybe like 1 day extra to kind of get like properly fit, properly like on the right page, and just saved him for the Bologna game. Gave maybe Kelleher that start, considering Kelleher has been on a good run of form. Certainly is adequate and sufficient.
And who you ask?
Depending on who you ask, I guess.
Yeah,
Well,
depending on who
if
you
you
ask.
ask most of us on this channel, I think we all should have loved for Kelleher and your Irish brethren.
A few doubters. I don't mind. There'll always be a few doubters, but there are some unreasonable doubters, I think, of Kelleher out there. Yeah. Considering what he's done for us, it's not like he's some unknown quantity, as it were. There's the whole thing and the whole being deadly and that, and okay, but short memories.
I feel you. Big up Chris Angel in the house. Big up Chris. Representing Beijing.
No blood, no foul. No blood, no foul.
No blood, no foul. Exactly. Yeah. One of my fellow Colombian brethren as well.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Bernie Rooney went back in the early days. Jimmy's right. Like
with the beard.
No, his hair transplant. I said I hope he kept a fucking receipt for that one, because Rooney went. Like, there's some people, like, you can't just, like, some people you can't give them a hair transplant. It just won't work. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And Rooney was one of those guys. Like, he went there and he got it, and like, he grew it, and he still looked like a bald guy with hair. It was really bad. Like, some people, it just won't work for them. But that was like way back in the day. Like, he went in the early days when it was like $2,000 in Turkey. Mm-hmm. Now there's people you pay $100,000 or whatever. These people, I'm assuming. But Rooney's was a complete failure. That was like, dude, you should have just saved the money. But anyway, now we're talking about hair transplants in the chat.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's move on from that. I just wondered if
can I address one thing as well?
You didn't answer. No one answered my question though. Like, what would you have? Do you think that we should have maybe let Kelleher get that Wolves game and then just
sorry. Yes.
And then just brought back Ali for fully fit, fully healthy, fully rested for this Bologna, which would have been a home game too. Wouldn't like we've been bringing him on the road or something like that. But like, would you have done it that way? Go ahead. I know it's hindsight speaking. By the way, I know it's hindsight. We already won the game. That's not that big of a deal. I'm just asking, just in general.
Yeah. But for me, he could have added like an extra game, Kelleher. He could have played that Wolves game. I was thinking he was going to play it. I was a bit surprised Alisson came back pretty quick.
Yeah.
So that was a blessing in disguise. So he came in, and I think Ali did some good saves in that game against Wolves. But that
Some
little
people
thing
are very mindful, and I'll allow for you to finish your point. I was just going to say, some people I was bringing it up is because some people are very critical of his passing, and like he wasn't exactly sharp with his passing. That obviously comes with gameplay. It obviously comes with being on the pitch and training, and really getting the kicks in and getting the repetitions in. But some were saying that he wasn't exactly crisp and really on point with his distribution. That's why I was asking. Maybe if we given him another week or something to kind of like get it dialed in.
Yeah.
Right.
But for me, I was just happy to have him back. Best goalie in the world. Kelleher, top goalie as well. He did a fine job, in them 2 games. So it's good. Look, we got 2 top goalkeepers. And for me, Kelleher, respect to Kelleher from where he came from and where he is at now. I don't really worry about him when he's starting now. If you understand my point, at the start, I was a little bit worried about him when we had the team sheet. Oh, Alisson's not playing, Kelleher's coming in. And I was like, ooh. But now, like with the showings he's shown us, I think he's doing pretty well, But I don't want him to end up at a rubbish team, like a donkey team who always fighting relegation.
He won't.
I hope so. I hope he goes who can he go to realistically? I don't think he can go anywhere in England. That's a big team because of the Liverpool. He has to go abroad to get a big club.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying, I think it's a niche complaint that Ali was back too soon. Like I said, there's a couple of people, not a couple of people. Sorry, there's people out there that seem to be just looking for problems. Like Mo is a problem. Mo ain't a fucking problem.
Yeah, you know what I mean. He's the solution.
Yeah, this is it. No, look, these aren't problems. That's like should it be this and that? I just thought Ali. I mean, okay, let's go stats on that. Show me yesterday errors leading to a goal, errors leading to a big chance conceded by Ali. I bet 0 and 0. Right. So what they're saying is his passing was a little bit off point. Okay. Did we win? Yeah, we did.
Yes. And I've said that I'm not trying to make something out of nothing. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. No. It's like, no, I'm just saying you probably like that you heard some people say, oh, was it early? I was like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
And if we did saying that, like, I mean, to them, I'd say, dude, come on. Like, you're looking for shit here now. I suppose they used to call it nitpicking back. I don't know. There's probably
totally.
You just call it nitpicking,
Right.
Like we went through, and I'm still and Chris, or sorry, not Chris, Jimmy. I won't say it still, as he said last night. Great analysis, Brian. I love it. That still warmed my heart, Jimmy. When we spoke about the Ali and Ibu thing and where the ball landed. Like that to me was like, that's one of the only kind of mistakes that you can even put down to him in what, a year. We're still like, if we're trying to find fault with Ali, I think you will, like, eventually, like, you will, if you go looking for things, you'll pick stuff apart, and eventually you'll find this thing to prove yourself right and go, look, see, I said it. It's just when did he stop being the best goalkeeper in the world? I've noticed this recently.
Exactly.
A couple of players have stopped being something they were 12 months ago. When did that happen? When did Ali become an issue? When did Salah become an issue?
Yeah, exactly.
When did Michael Edwards become an issue for some people? I'm not saying any, but like, this guy that brought all in these good players, he's come back. Oh, he's a dickhead. Yeah, I don't know. Like a lot of the stuff that used to work back in the day that everybody was talking about, I know it's new stuff now, but some of the players that, I don't know, people had in their heads that they were going to leave maybe, and now they have to keep on this train where, no, I don't like this guy.
Right.
I just find it very strange, really, really strange, because like I said, you said at the top of the show, it's tip of the hat, we're top of the league. Why are we looking for problems here? Like, why are we not backing this and going, we need to ride this, or We need to push this train as fans, because if you start I'm going to bring it up. Jamie Phillips does a show this afternoon going Dominic Szoboszlai, £60 million flop. What the fuck are you doing, man?
Oh my lord!
Sorry, Jamie. No, Jamie. Sorry, but what are you doing dropping that on a Monday afternoon? The day after we go, 2 days after we go top of the league. Where are you going? What's the idea with dropping a show like that? Is it a quiet afternoon? I don't know. But come on, has he been amazing? Has he been? No, he hasn't been. He hasn't been very good. But we're dropping these bombs, and then I'll hear later on, negative Liverpool fans are holding us back. There's no need for this bullshit. Right now, there's absolutely no need for this bullshit. We've got a new manager, really thin squad, with very little improvements, and we're getting this kind of bullshit. Oh, let's do a show. Dom, is he a £60 million flop? What's that going to achieve for Liverpool right now? How is that helping? Freedom of speech, whatever. But what do you think you're going to achieve with a show like that? This is what I'm asking. This is not the time for shit like this. There's a time for shit like that. This isn't the time for shit like this. We're trying to do something here.
I don't support the lad instead,
I don't get it.
Nitpicking United. It's I don't understand. We're top of the league right now. We didn't spend no money in the summer. Okay. Alisson and Salah for me, and a little bit about Szoboszlai. I would say he can do a little bit more, but I'm not going to be going over the top with it. At the end of the day, he's a young lad still. Never been to a country like England ever in his life. He's lived in Germany and stuff. And England and Germany, totally different sort of vibe, the weather as well. Alvarez's wife made him leave Man City because he wanted better weather, for example. So for me, making shows about things like Szoboszlai is a flop is sort of the modern day Liverpool fan, I don't like it myself personally, because for me, there's other things that we need to worry about, like the games coming up. Szoboszlai has started most games this season, and we won most games this season. Has he done enough in them games? Not really. But for me, he's done his bits and bobs, But I think the fee didn't do him any favours. I think if Szoboszlai cost 35-40 million, we wouldn't be so worried about him, if you understand my point. Because he cost nearly 70 million. That's probably a reason why fans think we've got to make a program about this topic, support the team, man.
Yeah, I just don't get it, man. I didn't mean to go. I wasn't planning on that. I wasn't planning on bringing that out. I wasn't planning on having a pop there, but I just saw that show today, and I didn't think. Yeah, Holly Rocks disagree. It's a valid question. I don't disagree that it's a valid question for someone to ask. But what I'm saying is the timing of the show, the statement, the tone, all of that, the day after that, it's just, you can have a conversation with it. But 2 days after we've gone top of the league and other teams have dropped points, and this is where we're going with our team of the day. It's just, where is that energy? That's not the right energy. Do you, as they say, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. But that to me was just uncalled for. No need for it. Like you said at the start, or backstage, Scapegoat FC. It's Scapegoat FC right now. Exactly. Like you said backstage, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For no reason.
It is. I mean, look, we've seen it multiple times with other clubs. We've seen it now, being affected our club as well. There used to be moments when a lot of the fan base would never really go down this route of trying to always even in some of our bigger and better times, which is during our runs, during our victories, during our high moments. I mean, again, we're top of the league, people. We are top of the league. We're in Champions League as well. We're winning in Champions League. We are pursuing our title of holding on as defending and reigning champions of the League Cup.
Haaland is breaking
lots
records.
of focus on that are positives, and I can understand that there are those out there that want to focus in on certain players that are underperforming in their own perceptions. But like, I defend it. I guess you could say, I often looked at as being the defense league for a lot of these players. Dominic is someone that I have openly come out in defense of, saying that I get that his performances haven't definitely been to the level of those that were calling him the Hungarian Gerard or something like that in the past. But I will say that this coach being Slot, this coach obviously, and even Klopp too, this coach and the previous coach both highly rate Dominic's ability, talents, and contributions, because despite the fact that he might not be playing at what you as the fan is saying is the level or is the your expectation of where and what you want to see from him, Slot has been picking him time in and time out to start. Klopp was picking him time in and time out to start. Okay. And that says something, that he is the choice, whether it was by injuries. Some people might say, oh, because of injuries or that. No, even with a healthy team, I said it too. Someone was like saying how, oh, well, there's no one really that could start. Or this. Look, Harvey Elliott wasn't injured in the beginning of the year. There's a lot of us that have high ratings for Harvey, myself included. And this coach was still looking at it as he's going to pick Dominic over Harvey to start at that 10. Would have been nice rotation, absolutely. But I'm trying to say he's still picking him as that 10. I get it. Harvey's no longer at the moment part of the rotation or option. I get it. But Curtis Jones is back and available once again. He's an option that you could have at that position. And again, he's chosen Dominic over Curtis Jones. Whether the rotation happens on that or not I guess we'll see. But I'm just trying to get across that I think there is still a lot of time to wait for the evaluations on Dominic. And I think some of those that are calling him a flop or wanting to throw him into the scapegoat FC, man of the scapegoat of the week, category. I think it's a little bit too early for that. I love the fact that Dominic has an incredible engine on him, and I think the fact that his contributions are the intangibles that he's bringing to the pitch are things that don't necessarily get stats or aren't necessarily the goal, the big goalkeeper goals or assists and stuff like that get you the eye test, as people like to say. But he's putting in runs, he's putting in the work, and I think Slot believes that he will start to contribute. He said it himself. He wants to see him score more goals, and he's trying to tell him, take more shots, get more involved. But I get it. He's a
but for me, Tom Brown.
No, JK, go ahead.
No, I just quickly want to say, I think, like, when you look at Szoboszlai at Leipzig and Hungary, he's the main guy. We were discussing this yesterday. Hence, like, now he's at Liverpool, there's a lot of top guys he's playing with. So he's not going to shine as much as people think he should. Why? Because he's not the main guy. For me, Salah is that guy up top who gets the goals, gets the assists, is the main guy to give the ball to, you know what I mean? Also, when you look at our team, the front three are all top class, whoever it is out of them 5 or 6, including Chiesa. And what happens is, because we play with them 3 attackers up top, the midfield have to put a shift in to allow them 3 guys up top to do what they do. I always say that's what the midfielder's job is to do, to make sure that the front guys don't have to defend. So that means there's a lot of running involved. Okay. So for me, Szoboszlai's been caught up in that game of football, what he's probably not ever played before, where he has to put a shift in this side of the pitch, not up top, this side of the pitch. But in his games for Leipzig, Hungary, he's up top, getting the ball, little flicks, this, that, and the other and stuff. And I think sometimes people have to understand he had some issues off the pitch, girlfriend, this, that, and the other. That takes time to sort out. The guy's young, you know what I mean? So he isn't like he's 31, got a family, 3 kids and stuff. You know what I mean? So he's like a young guy. He's trying to live his life as well as play football, I like look at Darwin, for example. Darwin and Szoboszlai have both shown flashes of genius. Like for me, Szoboszlai was given the second Gerrard. Why? Because at that
stop
time,
that shit.
I didn't really like it myself, but at that time, he was playing top football. He was playing really good. So so he's shown the fans there's a player there. Same as Darwin, his 2 goals at Newcastle, the goal against Bournemouth last week, showed you glimpses of what there's a player in there. You know what I mean? It's all about consistency, you know, and that's all it is really for me. Szoboszlai, is he a good player? I would say yes. I was surprised we signed him. That was a signing no one ever talked about. Like, we're going to go and get Szoboszlai. I never thought that.
I mean, there were some. Yeah. I will admit though, there were people that were very high on Szoboszlai, and they were surprised that we went for him, considering we ended up doing the release clause on him. It was a high release clause too, but I mean, they were surprised. I think that there's a player there, guys. I get that. I get Hollywood's statements, and everyone's welcome to opinions and the likes.
Well, I just wanted to respond to Hollywood. Like, the point isn't about Dom, right? This isn't the point I'm making, right? This has got nothing to do with Dominic Szoboszlai. The point I'm making is why people will say, "Oh, I have to this, have to that." You don't. You decide what show you do. You decide what thumbnail you put up. You decide what your show is going to be about. So on the Monday, after the weekend where we go top of the league, not in some stupid way where it's goal difference and Man City are playing on Monday night and we might be, no, we're just top of the league, straight up top of the league, right? So you have a choice as a content creator, right, on what you put out. So on the Monday morning, what are you going to do? I'm going to put out a show about something, not like someone said earlier on, false positivity or over positivity or anything. And I'm all for that as well, because I call out bullshit wherever I see it. Especially the Hungarian Gerrard stuff. Stop that shit. But you have a choice, right? So why do you put out is Dom a £60 million flop video on the Monday afternoon after we go top of the league? Because you have a choice. You can have the conversation about whether he's good or not. That's fine. Go ahead, man. Everyone's having that conversation. He hasn't been great for a while. No one is saying he has. What I'm saying is, and I'm acting dumb here, but the people who, I'm not stupid, I know why you do it, because negativity sells. You will get more views on a video that says Dom is a flop than you will get views on a video that says Liverpool are doing really well this season. Isn't it great?
Yeah.
We all know that.
Yeah.
So just come out and admit.
If I put Kumbaya on the thumbnail, I'm sure
so what you've done is,
we might get a couple of like the red jewels that show up, or maybe some of the OGs as well. But
so I'm not asking. It's a rhetorical question basically, because I know the answer. Why are you piggybacking on Liverpool's success this weekend by going top of the league? Yeah, and I said it, piggybacking, by putting out a negative video to attract viewers to your channel, while we are supposed to be supporting our club. That's what I'm calling out here, not someone's opinion
that's a valid point.
on whether Dominic Szoboszlai is good or not. What I'm calling out is this kind of
like throwing meat to it's like throwing meat to the lions type thing.
Bottom feeding, low hanging fruit bullshit. Lions do better.
Too noble of an animal.
Do better. If you want to have a successful, if you want to have a real channel, do better.
What I can't really understand is, like, you're a content creator and you're a Liverpool fan, and what it is, United fans, Arsenal fans, City fans are all waiting for us to have meltdowns. They love that. They're like, oh, look at this guy, he supports Liverpool, he had a meltdown. That's what these guys are waiting for, So for me, positivity always wins. Like, for me, there's no ifs or buts about that. I'm not a big fan of negativity, but not. Like I was saying, Szoboszlai for me could do better. I'm not going to say anything more. That's about it. Because for me, the more you moan at a player, the worse he gets. It's an energy, Moaning is an energy. It's a strong energy. Negativity is an energy, and it's big. And
I know, Chris, I'm sure Chris would beg to differ. I get you, Chris. But I was gonna. This was something that I had originally for I'm showing you guys some of the dockets that I have, part of our defense, part of my Res Defense League. But yes, this was originally for Lucho because there was some. I know I've been very defensive when it comes to those that depict Lucho as being a dribble merchant and dribble this and isn't that, blah blah blah. But also, if you look on this list now, since we are talking about Dominic, this shows the list of the most dangerous players that we have according to XG and XAG, which is assist to goal. And Diaz obviously tops this ranking at 0.91. Salah at a close 0.88. Diego obviously.
Salah apparently got to get rid.
Yeah, right.
He's
exactly.
trash. He's trash. He's trash. He's trash.
Diego at 0.82, and then you see Trent Alexander-Arnold in that listing, by the way, at 0.46. But then you also see Cody and then Dominic right there with the group at 0.38 and 0.36. That's with the XG plus XAG together, and that's Liverpool 24-25 Premier League Opta stats, basically. So he is getting something done. You know, he is doing things. I get that the misses definitely stand out quite a bit. But, you know, it is something that there's things about him. I say I hold the same energy that I'm going to hold for Dominic that I held for Darwin during his rough spell. When Darwin, but when the Darwin merchants were out there calling him out for his performances, you know, I was out there saying, look, I get that he's not scoring. I get that he needs to score as our striker. I understand those are those parts and points. He is getting assists in. He is getting other people getting actively involved in the game. He isn't like he's going missing. It's not like he's not like you wouldn't be like, oh, I didn't even realize he was on the pitch, because as long as you are contributing in one way in some of those intangibles that don't get mentioned, which is the tracking back, the putting the pressure, you know, doing a lot of the running and extra running or hustling back to make sure that we have the numbers back. Those are important aspects of the game to me. And
of course, they're not just the course are important, man. Come on, let's not go down this road saying they're important to you. These are important.
Well, I'm only speaking for myself. I'm not.
But you're saying tracking, but yeah, man, they're massive. Look, they're massively.
Some people don't rate those things. Some people don't care.
Yeah, but but when you're just saying, at least for me,
it's all about goals or nothing. And like,
I know,
I'm just like, there's
but that's the other end.
Yeah,
but dude, he's an £80 million striker. Okay, let's this is what we're talking about. Of course, he works. I mean, but the intangibles will only get you so far. I mean, he's not on that list there. But this isn't about Darwin. This is about Dom.
Darwin is not on that list. You want to see a good list? You want to see? I'll
no. I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying.
I'm about to say. This is my lawyer folder, my Defense League lawyer folder.
Yeah, great. I don't want to get into it.
You don't want me to break out the dockets, you know?
No, I just don't want to listen to Darwin stuff for the next 20 minutes.
No,
because people do go. But like, look, Dom. Like I said, it was not about Dom. It was about someone just throwing a stink bomb into the Liverpool party as a Liverpool fan. It's like he doesn't like the fact that it's all nice and fun. I want some negativity because everyone's talking about Liverpool, so I'm going to get some people into my channel. This is the poison that you need to get rid of. You know, if someone wants to say, send this video on to him or whoever it is, like I'll happily talk to Jamie because I know he's a good guy. I'd be very interested to know why some of these guys who have the reach that they do think that this is a good way of going about things, because there's no need to do this as far as I'm concerned if you want to be a genuine guy, because we should all be getting together as fans and laughing at Man City and laughing at Manchester United, you know, rather than just going, let's create a divide about who likes Dom and who doesn't like Dom and who hates Darwin and who doesn't hate Darwin. Why the hell aren't we all just getting behind the thing called Liverpool and pushing that forward and defending all our players against other fans rather than infighting? Infighting. You know, have you ever heard the phrase, you know, divide and conquer? Like that's what other people used to do to you. when you got people in your own fucking house going, I can divide and conquer here. What is going on? Like, this is no way to be. I don't think. You know, you've only got one life. You know, live it right as a Liverpool fan. Don't go mining negativity for what? Like an extra 100 clicks, an extra 100 clicks, or a few more likes. Come on, man. Let's be real.
Yeah, because exactly, Brian. For me, the main reason why we all support Liverpool, because as a club, very positive. Since the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, has always been positive. Win cups, win Champions Leagues, win league titles. How did we do it? By being positive. Klopp was a positivity engine. You know, I think if he wasn't positive and he was a quiet type of manager, I don't think he would have been that great. I think Klopp's used that positivity to get a little bit extra out of the players. You know,
great point. That's a great point. Yeah,
simple.
Yeah, no, that's brilliantly put. Yeah, that's nailed it. Him as a coach, as a dull, boring guy, definitely, man. Yeah, because he's not some super brain. You know, reinventing the wheel football-wise. It was kind of very. I don't want to call it basic, but he kind of look. We're going to go out and do this, and if everyone believes in me, I think that's a really that's his special fucking potion that he had. Like,
exactly.
Run through a brick wall for him. Like.
I was just going to add that there's a comment by Robert. The positive is if Szoboszlai has a poor game, Curtis showed he can come in and do a job. This is exactly what I agree with. I agree with that point as well. I mean, I know that Hyler asked if you don't prefer Szoboszlai as our engine, quote unquote, in the midfield, which players should be in that play?
Curtis,
could provide a role, and that's what I was gonna land this point, at least because we're coming up on the 2-hour mark here. What I was gonna say is that with the criticisms, I get that we can critique and criticize or praise and renown, but one thing I've said again and again is that there's a lot of sliding doors in this game, in life in general, you know. In this game, I know, Chris trying to steer it up. It's all right. He's a Sith. You gotta take it for what it is. But
he knows.
What I meant by the sliding doors is that like I get that we've gone out and tried to bring in a DM for some time now, and we haven't been able to get that Fabinho or get that player in the market as a player for this team per se. But the sliding door that we've witnessed is the fact that we didn't get him last year, but we ended up getting Endo, and Endo proved it to be a positive. Despite a lot of people not wanting to even give him the opportunity, much less acknowledge that he is a red now. Let's support him. A lot of people then eventually did get on board with that concept or that mentality. Now we have Gravenberch, the player that last year, some of us were saying we would have liked to have seen as a 6, much less just getting more playing time in general and figuring out how we can utilize this player in with the qualities and talents that he has. We went out, tried to get Zubamendi. It didn't work, but yet in that stead, we ended up starting Gravenberch in that pivot role, something that a lot of people never really thought he could do. Some still to this day are trying to undermine. And it's one of those things where it's like it's a sliding door. If Zubamendi was there, I am not certain if he would be having this much playing time.
Oh, that's a total sliding door. That is a 100% sliding door.
I don't know, and now that door is being put to a point where there are people that are so on Gravenberch's,
But even Arne Slot would say that. Like even Arne Slot would say, "Oh yeah, that wouldn't have happened if we brought in two." It's not because bad player, good player, but like if you want to ask someone like, "What's the definition of a sliding door?" That's it right there.
Yeah,
we don't bring in Zubamendi. Grav gets the gig, and guess what? He's fucking unreal.
And he's unreal. He's good.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, people that were on that other side of the fence are acting like there was no fence ever.
Oh yeah. Going back a while back, Gakpo and Gravenberch were being called Dutch this, Holland this, and
I didn't know that.
And I'm like, our captain is from Holland. Our captain is from the Netherlands.
There was a lot of disdain for Dutch players in general. And it was one of those cases where
12 man. How long have I been saying that Gakpo is the best finisher at our club?
Yeah, certainly.
I've been saying that since pretty much day one. He's the best finisher at our club.
Yeah.
If you want someone to put it into the bottom corner, Gakpo in his
With
preferred
force, like as he
cut
can,
in. Oh yeah,
with
that thing where he
power, he can
cuts
get
in.
power on it, finesse,
Yeah, his
power.
Robin move.
Absolutely.
His Robin move from the other side where he cuts in on his right and puts it in.
Yeah.
But he finds the bottom corner. Like it's relentless. It's kind of like Ian Rush.
No,
when it goes in,
Diego is our most clinical. I mean, like,
there's no air.
Diego is great.
Diego's great, but that I'll tell you the real wake up game. If for any people that still needed a wake up call, that alarm was ringing when we played in that 7-up game, and he scored that goal from that angle. I'm talking about Cody scored that goal from that like obtuse angle. I was just like, this guy's got.
Diego is streets ahead of Gakpo when it comes to heading ability. Jota has this ability to jump, like we saw it at the weekend, from a standing jump.
Mm-hmm.
Jota's heading, I swear to God, like I'm telling you, Jota learned off Ronaldo when they were away at Portugal. Like Ronaldo became one of the best headers of the ball in world football. He had that kind of hang time, that NBA hang time. He was famous for it. Jota has clearly learned from him. Like Jota's hang time is incredible for a small guy. The amount of headed goals he gets. I think I said before, going back, he's the best header at our club. I think Gakpo is the best finisher, but Jota can, like you saw at the weekend, from a standing start, he just jumped and beat the keeper, and it's crazy his ability. I think he's definitely learned that from Ronaldo. But Nalante, I think as a first time finisher, I think Gakpo is the best in our squad. I've said that since he's come in. You watch his ability to find the bottom corner is ridiculous.
Definitely back that up.
Yeah, because there's no air
There's
in
a
his
reason
shot.
why
When
I
he
call
shoots,
Cody Asian Cody.
He's smooth. He's smooth.
He's like a missile. It's like no air. It's just straight bang. And I like them type of finishers. You know,
he's got the ability. I mean, like it did issue him with the injury against. I think it was Newcastle. It was Newcastle, I believe he got injured, right? Or it was Newcastle? No, it was Spurs. He got injured in. I think in the Spurs matchup. But there was like the one time that he was able to, the way he's able to swivel and get so much torque on his shot, you know, and be able to like really find the like the corners. He really puts a lot of like, again, torque, and just the fact that he's a tall, lean body. He's able to just, you're not expecting that. And what happens is you end up getting some really, really good strikes from him. There are times that he has pressed and pushed the envelope a little bit too much, you know, but we're trying to find his shot. But often he's on point when it comes to
top scorer, Euros.
Yeah.
Top scorer in the Euros.
Yeah. Szoboszlai, Chris. Szoboszlai.
Yeah, I think that Szoboszlai has more shot power than Cody.
Yeah,
but it's not by much. It's not by much.
Yeah.
Cody has definitely some range in him.
And quick thing about the Curtis replacing Szoboszlai, like me and 12 were on about it yesterday. The only thing I would like to see is put McAllister in Szoboszlai's position and play Endo with Gravenberch behind him.
Ooh, Endo.
That's for me. That's the way we should go. Like next game, and if it's not Endo, okay, Curtis then.
Oh, in Bologna.
Yeah, Bologna.
Yeah, Endo for the. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Endo play Endo, Gravenberch, McAllister in front of him. Perfect.
Oh, Mac in the 10, man. He will, as the kids will say, he will cook.
Yeah, he will.
He was so good for Brighton in that role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think Gakpo, Chris, he has power, but Dom has, that kind of midfield power, midfielder type power. Gakpo has a more controlled type. I've no doubt he can unleash one. I don't know how you would measure such a thing as well either, but Gakpo, and what I was talking about, no doubt he's hit and miss, but I just mean his kind of, when he does miss, it's like an inch past. You know, he's got such a precise shot on him, and I think if you were to play Gakpo in 33 games in a season in the Premier, then you'd see, I think, how good a finisher he is. But when he comes in and out, he snatches a bit, or he's trying to rush things or impress a bit. But I would still go so far as to say that in a one-on-one I'd definitely take Gakpo over Mo right now. Yeah, that's all I say. But just coming in from the other side, yeah, I'd finish in top class.
Yeah, KJ, I'm there too with you. Endo will have another moment this year where he allows for some people to kind of wave the Nippon flag and really
I mean,
be proud of.
I'm never gonna complain with anything that brings a few more Japanese girls to the stadium. That's what I'm gonna say.
There you go.
They always represent well. That's all I say.
Yes, they do. They do.
They get excited.
Domo arigato on that one. Domo arigato. That's a great shot on YouTube.
It is very elegant, Chris. You're right. It is. Gakpo has a more elegant, like you say, it is textbook. It is that real, like there's a bottom corner. Find it. You know, he doesn't lash it. He doesn't do that. Yeah, I think he's very. It's underused right now. It's one of those horrible situations where, like, at Ireland, where we had like two of our best players were a right back. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, you know, like we can only have one right back. You know, we've got Diaz and Cody. I'd love to have both of them in the same team somehow, doing what they're doing, but you can't because they're literally in the same position.
It's wild, you know, that we're saying that too, because there is there's the young lad that's still on loan right now at right back, for instance, which is kind of interesting because we did go out to get him, and he is a player that unfortunately has had a lot of injuries, or not a lot of injuries, but he's been, you know, his fitness has been hit pretty badly, but he's still very young. You know, I'm talking about the right back. I'm gonna go blank on his name because I'm asking about or talking about him. In the chat, maybe you guys can help us out. Off the top of my head, I don't know why I'm going blank on him. What is his name? He hasn't played for us, but he was at the time. This is under Klopp. He was going to be the event. It was looked at as being as maybe an eventual.
Yeah, the Scottish lad, the right back, the Scottish right back.
Yeah, what's his name? What was his name?
Ramsey.
Calvin Ramsey. Calvin Ramsey.
Yes,
Calvin Ramsey.
Yes. Yeah. I'm still optimistic to see him play for us. I'm from all the praise and everything else I heard about him. I'm very.
Yeah, he was supposed to be what Bradley became.
Yeah,
you know,
that's why I'm very very optimistic.
Oh shit. Yeah, because we paid some big, but
we didn't pay a lot for him.
It wasn't a big. Was it a broken leg? But he had a proper injury, didn't he? Like I think he it his ankle or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he has some proper
Achilles
injuries
or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
good right back, attacking right back.
He's at Bernie says he's at Wigan on loan currently. He's been on a couple of different loans since he's come to the team.
Yeah, he's back up in Scotland now, I think, isn't it? Up in is it Celtic? Celtic?
No, I think it's Wigan. He's at Wigan.
Oh, Wigan. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, he's at Wigan. Sorry. Oh, Bernie put it. Yeah, Wigan.
But Luke Chambers as well. And they've had a few clean sheets.
Oh, he's the left back, isn't he? Luke Chambers is the left back, isn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's been playing.
Another player that is.
Are they championship? JK, are they championship?
Yeah, they're first division. They won after the championship.
Ah, okay. First division.
I mean, yeah, Calvin Ramsey, 21 years old right now. You know, like. Has had some injuries. Yes, he certainly has some injuries.
League One.
Yeah, we spent. Let's see how much we spent. 5.2 million. We spent 5.2. Yeah. Well, that's dollars. That's like American dollars. So we spent like 4 million, around 4 million, I think, or something like that for him in pounds. I think 5.2 is like around 4 million in pounds. Tell me if I'm wrong in my conversion.
Well, a few years ago, I think I remember hearing it was 6 million euros, so 5 million pounds, 6 million euro, 4 million. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, because the pound and dollar are actually a lot closer than they've ever been now. But yeah, 5 million.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not saying they're equal. But yes, and he's gone on some loans. He went to Preston North End, then he went to Bolton. Now he's at Wigan.
Yeah, been around the world.
Yeah,
At least in
it's been
Stansfield.
but
At least in
I saw
Stansfield with a sign.
again,
Around the world.
for those of us talking about the DM, we have some promising DMs out there too. Obviously Morton is a promising DM for us. I know Bashetic is a name out there for some people in the DM role. Obviously we are looking at possibly bringing in a DM. I know a lot of people do want us to bring in a more high profile name at the DM, if not a, maybe even a
I'd love to bring in someone that could allow Grav to do what he's doing now, but also in with a little bit more freedom. I don't know, like I don't know what that would be. Like I don't want to disrupt what he's doing now. It's really, really difficult to know what to do. Like, could we bring in an endo that came? Because that's a real tactical one. Like, how do you?
That's tactical, I think.
Yeah, it really
like
is.
What the opposition is really going to be able to give us, what they're set up for, I think will dictate whether we sometimes utilize that option or not. And I like that. That's why I keep going. Like, I get people's perceptions on depth. I just like the fact that depth is one thing. You remember that question I asked? I think it was like when we started up the channel.
But here's a question for you. Okay. Have we switched in our minds from looking to bring in someone that will start to looking to bring in somebody who could be an understudy to Gravenberch? If you understand the question, yeah? Like, have we? So are we now gone to? Well, if we were going to bring in a DM, it will be somebody who is going to come in for Grav when he needs to come out. Or have we gone from, have we done that? Has he jumped to that far ahead of the queue now where it's like he's the guy? So if we were going to bring in someone, would you now, like people in the chat, would you be bringing in someone to kind of go, I don't know what you would say, not replace Grav, but yeah, someone come in as an understudy now? Has Grav gone that far up the chain now this quickly to kind of change the profile of player?
This KJ keeps saying this, and I like it, KJ. I've actually started to warm towards that. I'd be cool with that. That name. He's someone it's going to be out of contract at the end of this year. He'll be out of contract. He could be a free transfer possibly. If you could really,
like, I don't know if it's a boring question or whatever, but I mean, just like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, do we need a Zubamendi? Yeah, this is a good one. Do we need a Zubamendi, or have we gone from needing a Zubamendi to needing an Angel Gomez?
I think it's more to the latter.
As he says, as an understudy.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of people out there that have finally been conditioned enough, I think, to now knowing that Gravenberch is a formidable option in that pivot. Now if we were to go to something where we were try to go away from the pivot, now all of a sudden you're trying to play with 2 8s and a 6, then that's a different story. Then that might be, then you look at it at a different perception of the midfield. But as of right now, with it being a pivot that we utilize, I am very, very comfortable with Gravenberch being in that role. And I'm comfortable, obviously, with Maka there. I'm comfortable with.
You'd be bringing in an understudy more than
I think that they create the best. I think they are the best pivot in the Premier League.
How old is Gravenberch?
I'll get clipped up for that, I'm sure, but I will say it again. I think that Gravenberch and Maka together create the best pivot in the Premier League.
Yeah. But we understand that. Like, we this is what we would say if he was here, but I can't speak because he's not here. Basetic is potentially that guy. You can't understudy Gravenberch if you're not here.
He's on a different play. Yeah.
He may not come back.
Right.
He may not come back. I
think there's a higher. I think that us sending him to the club that we did might be a higher probability that he will come back. That's just my perception, or again, my opinion.
Yeah, no,
Why I'm
there's a
saying that is
reason we
because
sent him there. He's
if
a
we
good
had sent
club.
him to a Real Sociedad, or we had sent him to a Barcelona or a team like that on loan, he being at home, and if he were really being able to learn or cook in those leagues, and knowing he has a place on those teams, he would certainly have a more likelihood of saying that he would stay,
I'll
possibly.
tell you, he'll be loving life now because he's playing football. He will be
Yeah.
loving life. He's
Yeah.
had a year with no football. Now he's playing. He's like I hate the phrase. I mean, I despise the phrase, but he's my guy. You know, he's a player
Mm-hmm. I know he's
I've
your guy for sure.
an affection for. You know,
yeah.
I loved.
I can say this again to your question. You asked me a question. I'll ask or somewhat of a return question. Question you've answered before, but I get that, and JK's answered before. I'm just asking. This is also to the chat though, primarily, and to those that I haven't asked this question before. Maybe you didn't hear me say it. This is something I brought up a long time ago on other channels as well, and that is, do you want a team? Do you prefer to have a team that your opposition has to change for, or do you want a team that you have the ability to change your team according to the opposition? Which is the more philosophy do you want to go with? Do you like it where you have a team where your team is like for instance, we've seen this team create a starting 11 that we all now pretty much are safe in calling out that will most likely be the starting 11, rather than, and hypothetically Real Madrid is coming in, okay, to into the game, we'll most likely bring out that team despite the fact that we're going as Real Madrid. If a Brentford or a Everton would be the team you replace, and they're coming in, chances are we're still going to bring out that starting 11. But there are the options of, with this team, there are some people's philosophies are saying, oh, well, if we're going to face off of Everton, maybe we need to tinker with this a little bit, bring in some players that, might not be great or might not be coverage for us defensively, but open up the low block more so in this way or that way, and we can bring in those options. My question is, do you want a team that is set, or do you want a team that has options? That's my question.
Yeah, or do you want a team that basically plays exactly the same system every single game, regardless of who the opposition is?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want a team who can switch between a 4-2-3-1, maybe goes to a 3-5-2,
Exactly, yes.
considering the opposition?
Yep.
Is that the kind of team that you want?
Yep.
Me, as I've said, after 9 years of Klopp playing 4-3-3,
Mm-hmm.
I was ready for change. I was very, very ready for change. Not in the manager, but just in terms of, and we were evolving under Klopp, of course. The football that we played in his first 2 years, very different to the football we were playing in his last 2 years. But yeah, I was desperate for something different there. But I do like, I think some people see it as a sign of weakness that, oh, well, we have to adapt to the club we're playing. That means, oh, well, that's your because you're a weak team.
Right.
Oh, the big clubs, they play the way they play, and they don't give a shit who they're playing. They're going to do what they do. Okay, that's a bit of a kind of a mind power play or whatever, but I love a manager that can adapt, that can do different things. I was watching an episode of The Overlap yesterday. I think it's about a month old, where it's the Rafa Benitez interview. So it's Roy Keane, Ian Wright, Carragher, Neville, Jill Scott interviewing Rafa, and Rafa talks for most of the episode. That's some brilliant stuff in that. Some absolutely brilliant stuff in that. And he talks about how changing in game, and I wanted to go with a 3 because we were playing against this team. That's exactly what you were talking about. He would say, Carragher's going, didn't we change this and didn't we change that? He's like, yeah, we did this because I knew we were going to be up against this type of team. So I wanted you to do this. I wanted to play different in that way. He would change all the time. You know, it was always a different on the fly for, you know, whoever we were playing. Like the fundamentals would be the same, you know, in most games. But he would absolutely say, okay, well, this weekend we're playing Bolton, right? Or Wigan. But tomorrow or 3 days later, we're playing Real Madrid. I'm setting up totally differently. Whereas Pep Guardiola, same system, same shit against Wigan, same system, same shit against Real. Basically, you know, with adaptability, yeah. But it is, yeah. And I suppose I enjoy both.
Yeah,
But
yeah, certainly.
yeah,
I'm not someone to say that. I
yeah,
like the fact that we can be rigid and then that we can be flexible too. You know, I like the fact that we have options. I know people again
yeah.
keep emphasizing this that about the depth.
Keep
I get it. I
keep
would
them
love to have.
guessing, I suppose.
Yeah, the depth is we can all debate what the depth is of this team is, but I like the fact that we have options, and I only think that we have options. We have versatility because, you know, you mentioned the Dutch players before. There's other players as well, other than the Dutch players that bring this aspect. But a lot of these players can play multiple roles for this club in multiple positions for this club. That is exceptional and very, very great to have as options. There was a question in there about someone. I'm sorry I didn't start, but someone asked a question about, you know, I want to say it might have been Dustin, but someone asked a question about Gomez and whether he should get more time at if Joey should get more time at right back possibly. And the sheer fact that we have that option is exceptional. It's one of the reasons why I didn't want to let go of Joey. One of the major reasons why I believe, you know, we got to see him at center back, something we haven't seen him in a while, actually.
Yeah. No,
recently.
sorry,
And
12 just to double up on that. Someone I think asked in the chat earlier on, who's after Robbo, Gomez, and Simicas, who's our next left back? So that just shows you people are talking about him in the right back and the left back.
Right.
You know, I mean, don't sell this guy. Just keep him. Just
Yeah,
give him what he wants.
exactly.
Let him sit there and just don't be making noise. Keep him happy. Give him a few games here and there. Keep him fit. Because when they're gone, you're going to miss them. Those multifunctional guys that love the club, happy to be there, but give them a few games. They need to play, man.
Yeah.
No one wants to be sitting there not doing it, kicking their heels. They need to play. They need to. They need to eat.
That's the reason why when I hear people say the things about the cup matches, I'm like, look, I appreciate the fact that we have cup matches because it provides the ability to play some of these players that if they weren't involved in cup matches would probably be sitting on the bench getting not even sitting on the bench. They might even be sitting in the stands getting frustrated that they're not getting.
This is why we said last night. We were talking about last night. Pep Guardiola wants to work with a thin squad. Bielsa wants to work with a thin squad. Now, one of the reasons Bielsa is different, one of the reasons Guardiola wants to work with a small squad is exactly because of what we're just talking about. He's a football guy.
Yeah.
He can't look at people and go, I'm dropping you. I can't put you in my team. He doesn't want to have 10
He ain't got
guys.
time for that. Yeah.
Who are so good. Yeah, he doesn't want you to buy him the 10 best players in the world. He's like, I'm going to have to turn around to some of the best players in England or in Europe every week and go, you're not even on the bench.
Yeah.
He doesn't want that. He doesn't need that kind of shit. He's like, just because that'll kill you. You got 3 guys sitting on the bench.
You tell him Foden, who's sitting on the bench for City, does not start. You know,
okay, you don't start one game, okay, but next thing, what do you know? You don't start 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Now it's 5. You cost 80 million. You're at Man City. You're Grealish. Like what he's saying is, I don't need to try and keep that happy. I need squad harmony.
True.
So if you have a shitload of players who are brilliant at football, again, until they change the rules, there's only 11 places on the pitch.
Yeah.
Some people aren't going to play. You're going to have a guy who could walk into most teams, and he's sitting there looking at you on the bench, and Guardiola's going, I fucking know, man. You're brilliant. I fucking get it.
Absolutely.
I get it, but I've got this,
that game against West Ham, the squad that, I mean, first off, that was one of our best performances of the year. Okay, we scored 5 goals in that matchup, right? And you're looking at the lineup that we had out there. We had Kelleher, Bradley, Kwanzaa, Joe Gomez, Simicast, Wataru Endo, Curtis Jones, Chiesa, Hakpo, Nunez, and Diego. There are players on there that will start for our team, but there are players I just mentioned in that lineup that would start on, and I'll say this with chest, on the majority of the Premier League would be starters. These players would be starters with teams in over half of the league. And I'll say that.
Gakpo walks into the fucking, come on, man. Gakpo walks into United side.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he gets into the Chelsea team because they'd have 11 million players. I don't know. Right? He should.
Would I rather have? Put it this way: would I rather have Cody
Chelsea,
or
Newcastle?
Would I rather have Cody or Jackson, Brian? I'm picking Cody.
Martinelli.
Oh, day. Yeah. Come on,
he
Jackson.
Gets in over. He gets in over a Martinelli. He gets in over an Anthony Gordon. He gets in over a Brennan Johnson. He gets in over. He gets in pretty much everyone but us and City at the moment.
Yeah.
He might even get into a City team. He'd get fucking minutes. Don't get me wrong. He will play.
Yeah.
All right. I'd have Gakpo over Doku, though. 100%. Yeah.
We spoke about it last night. Mac could play because it's world class. I think if is he world class? Definition world class. Gets into every team active right now.
Yes.
So name a team Mac doesn't get into. International and club side. He just won the World Cup with Argentina. He got on that side.
Right.
Okay. Does he get in Barca? Does he get in Real Madrid? No. He probably doesn't get in there starting them, but he's knocking right on the door. Behind Bellingham, behind Tchouameni, behind something like that. But he could get into that team.
I think
he gets into every.
Into those teams.
But I don't. Yeah, no. But I think that's I'm putting that
like,
up as
that's like
that's the one where we could have an argument.
Yeah,
right. He could get into Barcelona. Yeah. Does he?
I think he could. I think right now, if Manchester
City,
I'm
putting that up as
Manchester City had him on their roster,
he gets into the City.
Macca plays for City.
I think he plays for City. Yeah, I agree with that. He plays for fucking Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
I'm happy he plays for
and he gets it. No, he gets in their side. And
we're all happy he plays for the Reds, by the way.
Yeah, no, he gets in every side. I think he gets in every side in the Premier League.
Yes.
Unless Man City are benching him for Foden and De Bruyne. But that's just Man City.
Right.
But if he changed his name, if he changed his name from a Scottish name to like Silver or something like that, then
but JK, he'd buy him. He'd buy him.
Buy him.
Trust
this
me,
is
man.
the thing. Pep would buy him, right? Pep would buy McAllister.
McAllister is becoming one of my favorite players. You know, the guy gets stuck in. You know, when
his
you
passing
see him play,
is phenomenal. His passing is off the charts.
Much better than I thought he was.
Unbelievable.
He's good, man.
Yeah,
and he's a fighter. He's a fighter as well. You know,
he's not the vegan. What we got they got the Argentinian vegan butcher. United, we got the real butcher, man. We got the real Argentinian.
He owns the shop. We got the shop owner. We got the shop owner basically.
Loves it.
You know,
he'll get stuck in.
He might be we might have the section of the vegan butcher, but I mean, we got the shop owner. He's the vegan butcher would work for Macca, not the other way around. So how about that? Because Macca does.
KJ, I think KJ is saying City was interested in Macca this summer. We signed him, but we put the legwork in for months. What a lot of people don't know about that deal is McAllister was free the summer we signed him. He had 3 months left on his contract. He signed a new deal with Brighton. I think it was as late as March.
So they could get something.
Oh, I think it was as late as February or March.
Yeah, something like that.
He signed a new deal. Like he could have walked for nothing in 2 or 3 months. Now, I think part of that is why City didn't go for him, is because we had put the thing in and we had the, as you've seen, Lallana and Milner go there. We have a cordial relationship with Brighton. And we were prepared to say, do you know what? Yeah, that's cool. We get it. You don't want to lose the guy for nothing. And yeah, look, fair enough. He's your investment. However, he ended up with that left on his deal, but that's another story. So we were like,
Right.
yeah, cool. We'll give you the 35 million. Yeah, go ahead and sign the new deal.
Right.
You know, and we'll give you the 35 because it was a low
Right.
lease clause. I
Right.
think City were like, oh no, he's got 3 months left on his deal. We're not going to fucking pay for him. He signed a new contract with Brighton? That's bullshit.
Mhm.
Which is fair enough to say, what are you doing that for? Like, you know, you want to give them money? Okay, whatever. But we were like, yeah, look, we put in the legwork and the deal was there. And we were like, okay, yeah, cool. That's fine with us. Because basically we knew we were getting a 70 million pound player for 35 million. Like that was basically a steal. I mean, like 35 million for McAllister. You could double that tomorrow, at least. If you put him on the market tomorrow, you're doubling that. So okay, we had to pay, but we didn't make a fuss about him signing a new deal. We didn't try and stop him do it. We played the game, you know, really well that way. Said, no, okay, that's cool. That's cool. You know, 35 million. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's a fucking steal. You know, we knew it. Yeah. So that was a good way of doing business. I think that might have been why City walked away from it. But he's, like I said, yeah, you could one more good season with us. He's a £100 million player. He's a World Cup winner.
We got a Thursday match up. I think it is. It's Thursday. Is our Bologna game, right?
No, Wednesday.
Wednesday. My fault. I just looked at the.
I thought we was in the Europa League then.
Yeah.
You scared me, bro.
Oh, hang on.
It is the second. I thought it was the third for some reason. Yeah. Yes, it is Wednesday. My fault. Well, they are starting to play games all on different days.
Yeah, spread them across the week. Yeah. And then the next week is Europa. It used to be like Europa and Champions League in the same week. Now it's
and it'll be always on the same day. Yeah.
And then it's all
Now it's like Tuesday, Wednesday. It was like there's
the Thursday.
Some people playing games. Yeah, some people playing the cup match, and then in another view you have someone playing a Europa match or something. It's kind of wild.
But there was a Premier League game tonight.
Yes, there was.
The Premier League only finished tonight, so anybody waiting on their FPL, your league will only update tonight.
Yes, it will.
And there's
some of us need it. Some of us
Carabao Cup game tomorrow. Newcastle against Wimbledon, I think, as well.
Yeah.
See, non-stop.
They're just. That's the issue of what VVD was saying. Rodri saying, like a lot of these more outspoken players out there are saying that the fact that there really aren't any off day. It's like they're sticking these games in whenever and wherever they can to get them in. Yeah. Like you're right. Like it's just weird. There should be a day that you just automatically associate with that competition, and it'll be that much easier to recognize and expect things from it.
Well, that's why they've cancelled the replays in the cups. Because can you imagine if we drawn in the cup?
Yeah, and I have to play a replay. Yeah,
there'd be another game on the calendar.
Yeah, which is unfortunate for some of those smaller teams too. Though it's small, like if you do end up getting a replay, or if you would have end up getting a replay and it would have been at your home ground or something like that, then you obviously miss out on the revenue, but you also might also miss out.
Also, no extra time, just straight to penalties as well if it's draw.
Yeah, those are all big things. I wanted to definitely get this in though. I wanted to say that Tuesday, Wednesday. So Wednesday is the game. It is a midday game for me, so we could do a lead-in roll call type thing for that as well. What we mean by lead-in and roll call is that we will lead into the game, as in like we'll walk together into the game. So we need a roll call for that. So roll call is where you chime in from Ireland or from Ghana or from Colombia, from America, wherever you're watching the game. Hey, we're calling for a red roll call, and for you to say what's up, represent where you're watching it from. That way, we kind of feel we can understand the global reach and the camaraderie amongst us, and then we'll walk into this game together as something I like, something I really appreciated and like to do. I still got to get up. I'm still doing the conversions on that on the Arsenal game that I got to watch pregame for preseason, but I did share a little clip of how we did it, which is where we all like met at like a designated place.
Oh, okay.
And then we all walked together, and then it's just like a red wave basically walking into the stadium. It was like, it's empowering. It's very empowering. I don't know if that goes on or not overseas or not, but still, it was very powerful to be a part of it. But that's what basically what we're trying to achieve there, or what I'm trying to bring out and achieve is
where they all walk together as fans.
Yeah,
where they all, like the Oppo fans and the home fans, walk together into the stadium.
Oh no, it wasn't like that for us. It was Arsenal fans walked in. Arsenal fans walked in a different gate, but like,
But I mean, have you ever seen Wembley? Have you ever seen Wembley? The Wembley one?
That's what I mean. That's that kind of vibe. That's what we're trying to.
Don't worry, it happens in England.
That's what we're trying to emulate online somewhat. So
then you'll get people who are like got YouTube shows themselves and like say his spots like a flop, and then they'll end up arguing in that walking.
Pop quiz trivia, right? Pop quiz trivia. I'll start with the easy. Which Premier League player is the second best dribbler in Europe this season?
Palmer?
I'll go with Lucho.
Don't be silly. You just gave the clue away there. You gave a clue there with Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, Ghana. Okay.
So, which Premier League player is the second best dribbler in Europe this season? No. I don't see anybody. JK? Ghana?
Is Kudus Ghanaian? I'm not sure.
Ding, 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 ding. There you go. Kudus.
Kudus. Okay.
Okay. So, for a bonus point, who's the best? Statistically,
Lucho?
best dribbler in Europe.
I'm talking. That's my answer for everything right now.
Yeah,
Lucho.
I'm talking about Europe, dude. The statistically best dribbler in Europe.
Best dribbler in Europe. I thought just meant in the Premier League.
No. I said which Premier League player is the second best in Europe.
Okay, so the first best could be
that was good. So who's
maybe
the best?
I don't know. Rafinha.
Yellow for me.
Who is it?
Wait.
You said all of Europe. You said all of Europe, right?
Yeah, well, the top five. You know, the La Liga, Serie A, Premier League. You know. What did you say, Musiala? Someone said Musiala.
I didn't say Musiala.
No, JK says Musiala.
JK said Musiala. That's a good
Doku is 10. Doku is number 10. Diaz isn't in the top 10, by the way. I don't think he is. Yeah, no, I don't think he is. Yeah, Yamal.
Yeah,
Lamine Yamal. Yeah.
Okay.
Number one in Europe for successful take-ons, as it were. But yeah, Kudus, dude, we need to buy that player. I mean, we're not getting. Oh God, I mean, if we bought Cole Palmer, I can't get over this kid, man. Jesus.
We were never gonna get Cole Palmer.
I know, but could you imagine if we just kind of had before anyone noticed it? Like, I'd never heard of him when they bought.
We were never gonna get Cole Palmer. I don't think. I think that the only way
they sold him to Chelsea.
To sell him to Chelsea is one thing, but Chelsea, for some reason, Manchester City doesn't have issues with selling.
I know.
To Liverpool, or selling to Arsenal, or selling to.
No, he'll never play for. I get it. He's never going to play for Liverpool, but he's so good, man. He's so good.
But what we're getting at though is that we'll do a roll call, lead in and a roll call for that Wednesday game, and also
let us know where you're watching from.
Yeah, tell us where you're watching from, where you intend on walking to watch the game, whether it's pitch side, whether it's to your pub, whether it's to your couch. whether it's to your office desk, does not matter. Just tell us because we want to
Or
feel
your
as though,
psychiatrist's couch.
yeah, maybe psychiatrist couch, yes. Maybe that, yeah.
Some of these fans, I think, should be watching it from the psychiatrist's couch. I think.
Yeah, they can watch it together, all of them.
Right. But
Okay, I've got a quick question for you before we go. Which player was involved in the first VAR decision for a goal in history? Like, which guy was it in England?
Oh crap! I know this. Ah, JK, you.
Dog, you.
Yeah, you dog. You dog. Like the first goal that was given.
Yeah.
By it was the first one that was given.
First goal, not like offsides or something like that.
Yeah.
But, okay, so first goal. That's right.
I can give
if no one gets it, then maybe we can do.
Yeah, clue. Give us a clue.
Give us like a little bit of clue.
He played for Manchester City.
Yeah.
He played for them.
I'm gonna go with Milner.
No, yeah, that's way too early. Way too early. Milner was gone before.
Is it a Liverpool player?
No, he's saying
he's saying
City player.
Yeah, he said he played for Man City. Yeah.
No, but he played for City at the time, or he.
He played for
City
at
the time. He was at another club at that time.
Oh, yeah. Right. Oh,
that's why I'm gonna go Milner.
Oh, I thought you were saying it was at City.
I'm gonna go with Milner. That's my guess, Milner.
Okay. Brian?
Fuck. No.
I can give you one more clue then. Yeah? I think you'll get it straight away then. Okay. He also played for Leicester City.
Oh, Mahrez.
Oh, that was what I've seen this question today on a program called Tipping Point. Mahrez was one option. The guy he was another option, and the other guy I can't really remember who the guy was.
Oh, Iheanacho.
That's the guy. That's the guy.
Iheanacho. Okay, Iheanacho. Right. Iheanacho. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Would not bet that one. That was a tough one.
That was a good one. I like that question.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I thought I had it when you said Leicester. I was like, oh, well, obviously Mahrez, but then.
Yeah,
but then it took me a minute to remember.
Iheanacho's a good player. Tipping Point. I think I've seen that.
Good.
He's in Spain now, I think, Iheanacho.
Yeah. He was actually all right player, you know.
He's good. He stopped us winning the fucking league, if I remember correctly. He was involved in one of those goals that stopped us winning the league. No, not stopped us, but
I wanted to talk about tomorrow, Tuesday.
Yeah,
we're going to have Twitter Tuesday. I don't think we're going to do a trivia Tuesday, but we might mix in a couple of trivia questions here and there, like the guys have just done. But tomorrow we're going to I'm going to bring up some stuff that's going on in the news, obviously. I'm also going to bring up an interesting discussion. Hopefully, I don't know if Chris is with us or not, but I'm going to try to see if I can get Chris to join us tomorrow. And I don't think that I'll be able to get arrested. Yeah, I think he works during the day like that. But I'm going to see if I can get Chris to join us tomorrow because we're going to talk on a subject about a particular Colombian. We're also going to bring up some discussion on exactly about the defense and or who has the best defense in the league, and some real spotlights on some of the players that I think are really making some real leaps and bounds when it comes to performances this year. So definitely join us tomorrow so you can be a part of the conversation.
Survivor Series.
A what?
The Survivor Series. Could we not have
is that tomorrow? Survivor Series? I thought Survivor Series was on Wednesday. Normally Survivor Series I thought was on Wednesday, but we could do it tomorrow. We could bring up Survivor Series too.
We've got the game on because the weekend is over. So
done and done. We'll make it into a full
we can add it on the end.
of bouts. We'll have the Survivor Series. We'll bring in also. We'll definitely bring in, because today's game just went final. We'll be bringing in the FPL updates as well. So there's going to be a lot of good on the cards. There's going to be a lot of good discussion points and things to get involved in tomorrow. Please be a part of it. Be sure, Marion. Hopefully you told your neighbor who interrupted your viewing enjoyment that they need to now subscribe and be a part of it, so they understand that they've got to be a part of this sensation. So definitely be a part of this tomorrow. We'll take all
KJ.
Duran.
Yeah, I don't know for the panel. Would I like him at the club? Yes. Am I buying him? Another story, but yeah, I do like the player. Yeah, I do like him.
We'll bring it up tomorrow. We'll definitely be a part. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be like a WWE day for us tomorrow. In that there'll be a lot of different cards that we'll be able to pull out and have discussions, have questions, have the whole likes of it all. There's something that is, I guess, a little personal to me that I did want to say, because he's not a Red, he's not connected to Liverpool or anything like that, but a player that plays basketball, but he is a very noble player. He's someone that has done incredible philanthropic endeavors for Africa, for his native nation, but also for just Africa, the continent in whole. He's been an ambassador, whether for the UN or also just for basketball as well. A player that took us or helped us get to a final. We didn't win it, but the ride was an incredible ride, so much that he's definitely a legend for this team. And I just wanted to say, rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo. He passed. He's certainly someone that I'm going to miss. As again, I know he's not a Red, but it's just I just wanted to make that someone. He plays for the Sixth. Yeah,
one of the best shot blockers of all time. I've been
absolutely. One, two, yeah. All right.
That's a beautiful jersey.
It's a nice shirt.
That was a good year. That was the year we actually made it to the finals against the Lakers. He played in the final against Shaquille O'Neal. He had a
the basketball. You can see the basketball behind a real basketball on the jersey.
Yeah.
And the 55. Yeah, that's a great photo. That's a lovely jersey, man.
Yeah.
But I'm not a basketball guy, but I saw someone say that earlier on, like that guy is literally like one of the best at that skill of all time.
Absolutely.
And they showed him like doing it, and it was just like him just standing there going, nope.
Yeah, he does
real VVD shit, like just going, nope.
Yeah. Whenever you see someone do this now, this is forever like synonymous pretty much with Dikembe, because he was an absolute incredible player, as Marion is saying. Yeah, 58 years old. Look, people, enjoy the time that we have on Earth, and be sure to make a point to include those that are family, that are friends in your lives as much as you can possibly can. It's one of the reasons why I do enjoy doing this show with the Irishman, with JK, with you guys out there in the chat. It's immensely important. It gets you through some of the low points in life, knowing that you have great society, a great community, and like this, that we can, bond together. We can show support, we can show love, and it means something to be able to have those moments and have those real foundational blocks. And I really appreciate the fact that you guys, from day one, have always been incredible people, and I'm very blessed to call you fellow Reds. So that's how I look at it.
Nice lyrics, bro. Yeah.
So
JK will know. JK's a spiritual guy. JK knows this shit, man. We're all only here for some people say, a good time, not a long time, but it's pretty much that, don't let all this petty shit get you down. too much
Yeah.
at the end of the
Yeah.
day. You know, you got to put it to one side. We come on here a lot of times, and one of the reasons I'm on this show is because I just couldn't stand the other kind of bullshit things. But it's good to know that we've grown a lot of people here. Like there's 20 people here already tonight. That's really good for us. So
Yeah.
Nice one,
you know,
Chuck.
Yeah.
yeah, that's really good.
And it's
So
a measure of
see you
your
again tomorrow.
a beautiful character that you guys continue to support. You bring others in.
Even if Chris Angel hates it, even if Chris Angel doesn't like the rainbows and the Care Bears and all of that. Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
No, but look, it's somewhere different, right? You know, it's somewhere different.
Yeah, got to be different, man. Like too much negativity going on in the world, you know. Depression is up big time. Like you look at people's faces on road, it's like, whoa. They need to tune in to our show, you know. At least they smile at the end. Yeah, man.
Yeah, they need to become either a red fan, a red supporter, or you know, if you already are a red supporter, it's that simple. These simple words of, "Hey, top of the league, top of the league to you."
Yeah, top of that. They're welcome.
So, yes, we're gonna end here and see you guys tomorrow. Please be sure to bring in what you need to do with the questions or anything that you want to bring to the table. Definitely have it ready for tomorrow. A lot of stuff to get involved in: Survivor Series, FPL, news, your questions. We're all going to get it into tomorrow. So until tomorrow, I say, hey, up the Reds, people, up the Reds, and take care.